Hi, friends. It's a Football Friday here on the Fan Sports Network. It's how we'd start a show if we were in Mississippi. Because it just means more here.
Paul.
Ow.
Run the ball.
You got it, dude. It's not that hard, is it? It's not that hard, is it?
I hope y'all had a shitty day.
Yeah, same to you, loser. Where's that guy going to end up?
Doesn't matter. He's getting paid.
Could that guy fail up to the Florida job?
What do you mean? I've been failing up my whole life.
I was about to say you and me both, but I'll let you have that
Yeah,
one.
that's fine.
I'll let you be the winner.
It's fine. I have no problem with that.
It's a Football Friday here on The Fan. We're very
It is.
excited to be with you. I don't know why, but this Football Friday seems a little more exciting to me than normal. I don't know if it's because I'm headed down to Eugene, but this game against USC feels like it's got so much more juice.
It does.
It's a home game, too, so that helps. The Penn State week was nuts.
Yeah.
That was a big week here for us at The Fan in our coverage of the Oregon Ducks. But that game wasn't here. The Indiana game was like a...
There was fear.
There was a lot of like, I don't know how this is going to go. But there's a lot of excitement around the office. You know, everybody's talking about where they're staying and who's going down where. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to carry beer around without a backpack.
You don't have a beer bag?
I don't know. Well, I don't want to go into the game with a bag. I'm not sure what my car situation is going to be. It might be like the car gets parked and then I'm on my own for the rest of the way.
Why don't you just get one of those like cheap plastic bags?
Like what kind of cheap plastic bag?
Like you can like like the grocery bags. Like then I'm not talking about like the ones you throw away. I'm talking about like the ones like the reusable ones. There's clear ones you can get. Like there are bags that are, if you go online, I'm sure they'll tell you what size it has to be. Because they use them at all the arenas and stadiums and stuff like that. But you can get them at like Walmart, Target, stuff like that. And I mean,
And just throw it away?
yeah, I mean, it's like $8 at most.
Yeah, I was wondering if you get like an 18 rack, if I just like slam 3 beers from the get, then I can hold the handle but have it tilted up a little bit so
Yeah.
they don't spill out. Because it's going to be like 40 degrees down there.
At least it's not raining.
That's cold beer temperature.
Yeah. You know, that's a perfect transition. You're not going to know where I'm going with
I got
this.
no idea.
So, ran some errands last night. Went to Costco, went to Target, and I grabbed some refrigerated and frozen things at Costco.
Okay.
And walked over to Target in Wilsonville, and I was with somebody, and she was like, "Hey, are you? Is the stuff in the back of the car going to be okay?" Like, I don't know. She has she's particular about food safety.
Oh, okay.
I am not.
I am aware of this.
And look, I'm not pulling food out of the trash can and eating like a raccoon, but like,
Well, my wife can be a little bit that way, and I always let her know, like, hey, babe.
you
like,
work in the restaurant business.
I have food handler cards in 2 states that are
Yeah.
currently active right now. Like,
we're good.
We're good.
That's the thing is like, especially if you've been around like food prep, or if you like me, you've traveled the world and you know how far you can run the gamut with food.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a bunch of refrigerated stuff and then a bag of frozen chicken, and I'm like, it's fine. It's 40 degrees outside. You know what the temperature of a refrigerator is? It's 40 degrees. Like, it's totally fine in there. And then we ended up going and getting some dinner. Went to my parents' house, and she was like, why don't you bring the chicken inside and put the chicken in your parents' freezer? And I'm
It's
like,
not a bad idea.
well, I mean, again, it was, so I did, and it was
Mm.
fine. And, but like the whole night, we went back to her place to go put some stuff away. And she's like, why don't you bring everything in? I tell you what, I'll bring the chicken in. I'll bring the frozen chicken in. That'll be fine. But I get out to the car later that night. I look at my temperature outside. It's 37 degrees.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's the same temp.
It's fine.
I accidentally left my backpack in my car the other day and overnight. I was like, no big deal. Like, my neighborhood's safe, all this kind of stuff. And then I got here and pulled out my computer, and it was ice cold.
Frozen.
And I was like, that can't be good.
Well, it's better for it to get cold than it is for it to get hot.
Fair, but I still don't think the temperature that I felt on my hands was a good idea.
Yeah, when it sticks to your finger because
Yeah, kinda,
you know it turns into the Christmas Story. The kid sticks his tongue to the pole.
Yeah, she fired up okay, so we're all good there.
Just nice and slow. Had to warm up. Ooh, it's brisk out
Well,
there.
it doesn't fight for its life like yours does.
I don't know why it does that sometimes. It'll have like one program running. It just goes. It's like, whoa. Because I've got a MacBook Pro with a new processor and everything. It shouldn't do that.
Should not do that.
So, but every now and then it gets angry at me. I think it's because it can't breathe on this table.
Did you guys settle on your bet, you and Mr. Johnson?
We did. I came in during the commercial and I was like, all right, man, face paint? Face paint.
See, I came up with something at the last second that I really thought was worth it. Buying a hat from your opponent and wearing it for a full week on the fan.
Yeah.
Because like that has monetary value, and it's got to be like a nice hat.
Well, I mean, I'll have to go. If I lose, I got to go buy face paint.
Yeah, but that's cheap.
Is it?
Yeah, you can get that cheap.
Where do I even get that? Like a Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, Hobby Lobby, Party City, maybe.
Okay.
Dollar store.
Okay.
But I mean, scrubbing that off is going to be rough.
Yeah, like I don't want my.
Just remember the quality of paint you buy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know what? Let me do a double check too. I need to make sure that.
I think you guys should both put paint in your Amazon cart.
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
I have a Blazers game on Monday.
Well, yeah.
I got to make sure that comes off real good.
I think you should go on Amazon right now, look up like kids face paint, because you know then it's going to be extra protective because we don't want the littles to die. And you have to both put those in your cart like you're ready to click send.
There you go.
And right after the game, you have to click
Yep.
checkout.
I like it.
Because I'll bet you'll find good stuff that comes off easily, but it's good on your skin and not terrible. Because remember, the kids.
Yeah.
It's all about the children.
Yeah, because not only
It's like
that,
Wu-Tang.
there's probably some Halloween leftovers.
Totally. Maybe you get a deal on it.
Speaking of Wu-Tang, I was getting my haircut yesterday, and they had the YouTube playlist on. They had like a whole like hour-long session of Wu-Tang while I was getting my haircut. I was like,
Wu-Tang is for the children.
yes.
Right.
Little Meth, little Redman.
Solo
Well,
and group.
No, the whole, it was just Wu-Tang group.
Oh,
just
okay.
like, it was like 40 minutes of it. I was like, you know what?
Got a little RZA in there.
Yeah,
the
little
Ghostface Killer.
little ODB. Yeah.
Raekwon the chef.
Mm-hmm.
Inspect a deck.
Yeah, it was. I was like, you know what? I'm digging the vibe.
RZA's my guy.
Shout out to my guys at Faith and Shades in Newburgh.
RZA as Bobby Digital. That's my favorite solo project.
I always enjoyed randomly finding RZA in like a movie or TV role.
He does more like legitimate stuff.
Yeah,
To where
yeah,
anything Method Man's been in has been like very goofy or slapstick comedy,
How
like a
High.
How High kind of thing. Yeah.
I've seen him on. He did a episode or two on the old Law and Order. SVU.
I was about to say, yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was on one of those kind of network shows. He's my guy. He makes the beats for all them. There's this great song on Bobby Digital, Curse of the Black Widow, where you hear this like tink, 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 tink in the background is like a little beat, and it's ODB with a razor blade on a mirror. Yeah, and then ODB comes in and lays this fat rhyme, and you're like, "Sup, dude?
Shimmy, shimmy, ya,
So-
shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yay.
Oh. Do they still have? Do we ever get those songs released that guy bought the Wu-Tang hidden album for
I don't
like
believe so.
$285,000?
I don't believe so, but I think they've managed to wrestle it away from him, or somebody bought it from him, maybe. But yeah,
because that would be great.
Yes.
Like, dude, if you have
why are we
$285,000
keeping that from the world?
If you have $285,000 to spend, I don't remember how much it was exactly, but it was a lot of money. If you have that much money to spend on unreleased material that nobody else gets, dude, put that ass out into the world
Right?
for free. For free.
yeah.
I will say, fan text line also saying, Dirt seems a little scared. I'll just tell you this: Dirt's not giving me the points. Straight up.
I wonder why he won't give you the points. Because he doesn't want to win but lose. He
Well,
doesn't want to
'cause
win the game.
I've
but
heard
lose.
him say
Which I don't blame
because USC, another traditional powerhouse, what have you. He's like,
Ooh, I've heard this.
and he's like, yes, if this were a game against like Washington State or Oregon State or something else, sure, we can talk points.
He told me he did lose a cheerleader bet to Sprague years ago because they did win, but they didn't cover because the spread was like 30 or something like that. So, which that's like if it's like a 20+ point spread, I get that. Also, it being 9.5, man, that just seems like a wild spread to me.
I'm okay with it.
You are?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I am. I am because I think, the classic styles make fights kind of thing. I think Vegas believes that Oregon will instill the way they want to play the game.
Yeah.
And if they slow it down and run the ball and that defense is as hyped, I think it could easily be a 2-score game. I'm not saying that's what will happen,
Yeah.
but I think I'm trying to justify. And again, I'm not a gambler, so I'll leave this up to you guys that understand spreads and a lot of things better than me. But it feels to me that that's what if you like ran it through a simulation, that it would be
Which is what they do.
That would be a field goal with 4 minutes to go to put them up 10,
Mhm.
and USC scrambles to come down, and Mayaba throws a pick,
Or-
or 4 and out. Not 4 and out, but a fourth down miss
failed
conversion.
conversion, yeah.
Which is what I think that they are probably going off of.
Makes sense. Like say it's 28-20 and Oregon kicks a field goal and goes up 31-20.
Exactly. With enough time left in the game that they think they can get 10, or they're like, there's 2 minutes left and it's a fourth down. It's like, well, we got to get a touchdown anyway, so let's kick or we got to get a field goal anyway, so let's kick the field goal now, and maybe he misses it.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. How's your kicking game? I don't know USC
Pretty good.
special teams.
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah. They got a kicker they can trust.
Because Oregon's got a kicker who drilled one for the win in
Old
Iowa.
Atticus.
Atticus.
Somehow still playing college football.
What a great name.
Atticus
great
Sappington.
name. Well, Atticus Finch is one of the greatest characters in American novels.
Well, and is Atticus Sampington probably the most like high school football Portland kicker name you could ever come up with?
Probably. I got a buddy whose kid's named Atticus, and I always like tip of the cap that you had the balls to do that. So I would just be terrified that my kid would get made fun of.
Right?
Well,
At that point, you start to wonder: do they go by? Do they just use the initial in the first name and go by like A and then whatever your middle name is?
yeah, like
A.
Atticus,
Joseph Peterson.
Brian, yeah, AB. What
Yeah.
up, AB? What about Cuz? Could you go Cuz? What up, Cuz? Atticus.
Or go
There you go.
or even go with the first and middle name initials. Do like an AJ.
Addy? Could you get an Addy?
Annie? Well, that's a little on the
A little more feminine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that far off from Adley. So
I do like that name, Adley.
Yeah.
My wife and I love to have conversations about what we would name a child in front of our kids, and it terrifies them.
There
They're
you
like,
go.
don't have another cat.
My wife tried to bring up Hadley for one of our kids' names, and I had to basically pull
It's
the
pronounced Headley.
name. Yeah. Well, I had to pretty much pull out the line from Superbad and McLovin and say that's a dumb, stupid, effing made up name.
yeah,
It's not a real name.
100%. I was double checking Sayeri, USC's kicker. He's 17-18 on the season with a long of 54. He's a Grozo Award finalist.
Oh. I did not know the
Is that
kicker
good?
award enough.
Yeah, yeah.
54. We talked about field goals yesterday.
That's a pretty decent. That's
Only one
decent
miss
boot.
on the season? Is that
Only,
what you
only
said?
one miss in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17-18.
How
Yeah,
far was the miss?
I think it was another 50-yarder, if I remember right.
This is how you know it's like coming up to the big game of the weekend when we start talking kickers,
Right?
right? That's how you know we're in a real spot. Like just scraping the bottom.
But no, I mean, both teams have good special teams. There's no doubt about that. You can't play and beat Iowa without good special teams.
Nope, not at all.
Both of them were like, let's not give Weegan the ball. Let's
Yeah,
not let that happen.
If you have a good special teams, I think Dan Lanning has a plan for you.
Yeah.
Because he's already executed it brilliantly.
He's going, nope.
Nope.
So yeah,
Oakley Dokley. Well, we got a great show for you today on this Football Friday. We will in and out Ducks USC throughout the day. You know, I think we'll spend some more time on that in the 11 o'clock hour. We'll give our final thoughts on the game. We'll take our morning stroll, a walk around the morning dew of the Pacific Northwest, and take a look at the games on the slate, including the Oregon game. We'll officially make our picks there. Web Gems always at 11:45. Some NFL in the big nooner, but a lot of college football to get to. But I'd like to start in the NFL. You know, a damn good game last night. A very, very entertaining game.
I had the score right, just backwards.
Yep, unless you're a fan of the one team. What do we make of this? And more of the question, can Houston actually do this? We'll start there in the NFL, Thursday Night Football. This is, what are we? The Firm of Harris and Meringue on 105.1 The Fan. It's 10:18 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it, baby. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. Happy to have you on a Football Friday. 503-864-6326. That's the fan text line. She lets you interact with us throughout the entire day. Also over on youtube.com/1051thefan. You can find our ugly mugs on there. Jump into the chat. We're always talking jive over there. Turkey jive. Always talking turkey jive over there. So come hang out with us. We're happy to be here. Coming up on this hour of the program, we'll get into a little bit of college football. Is structure needed in college football? Well, Bobby Petrino thinks so. And the updated episode on As the Lane Turns. We'll get to that this hour. But let's start in the NFL. As the Buffalo Bills lose to the Houston Texans 19-23. One of my favorite lines from the night on the broadcast, because look, I think there's a lot of people out there that think Al Michaels is like over the hill and needs to not be on television anymore. But let me sit here and tell you that I am in love with the twilight of Al Michaels' career, for he just says it like he feels it and does not care if there are any repercussions. I believe he said at one point near the end of the third quarter, this is a tape that will not be making its way to Canton.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. He's just like, this is some really bad football.
And he just calls it even more than as he sees it now. He's actively grumpy in the process.
He just doesn't care. And Herbie just laughs at him the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for it.
I mean, what was it last week? He made the shot about, you can't even see what's going on down there.
Yes. I don't even think Al Michaels didn't hear him
Or didn't care.
Yeah. And I'm probably going to go with the latter.
Yeah, I mean, could be a little column A, a little column B.
Totally.
For sure.
A lot to take out of this game, surprisingly, on a Thursday night. I know I waxed a little bit yesterday about how much I hate Thursday night games, but I quite enjoyed myself watching this one. I, along with Al Michaels, took a short little snooze during halftime because the game was a little challenging at times. But boy, I know you harp on this a lot, Danny, and you are absolutely right. And they probably said it 30 times on the broadcast last night. This defense, there is a reason they are number one. There is something
They are
absolutely
violent.
nasty about them.
Josh Allen was running for his life.
Josh Allen sacked 8 times and hurried 70. Is that number I'm seeing right there? Goodness gracious. And
They had 12. Whoa. They had 12 quarterback hits and 8 sacks.
And while Will Anderson was just a menace on the field last night,
And Danielle Hunter.
it like wasn't until they were like, Anderson's having a great game, but we sure haven't mentioned Hunter. And then boom, Hunter just blew the world up on that. That defensive line, if you want to know how to beat Josh Allen, that's it.
Well, you have a front seven that is just absolutely diabolical.
And I thought another thing that was great from them as well is if you take off that big run game or that big rush play that James Dalvin Cook III had in, I believe, the fourth quarter. It might have been late third.
45-yarder.
Something like that. They bottled him up. Buffalo could not run the ball. They could not throw the ball. There was some like underneath, kind of in the center of the field stuff that it looked like Houston was just giving them, and they were taking in.
There was the big play to Shakir, and there was the big play for Cook, and that was it.
And they would get some first downs and keep their drives going, but then it was like, boom, Allen sacked, boom, Allen sacked, boom,
Tackle
Allen
loss.
throws a pick.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the thing. So Josh Allen throws 2 picks, right? We went through the 8 sacks. They also had 11 tackles for loss, 12 quarterback hits. When we talk about Oregon and being disruptive, look, there's levels of disruptive. This is pure and utter chaos. This is why I look at this team and go, God, if Stroud was healthy, God, if Nico was healthy, God, if that offensive line was healthy. Like, if that offense was healthy, this would be one of the nastiest teams in football.
But let's flip to that side. Let's look at the offense. I thought that Marks kid, Woody Marks, had a nice game. Nothing crazy, but he was the power back for the game in that. They kept feeding him the ball. And while his numbers don't look awesome, he was getting big play after big conversion.
Do you know where we went to school?
Woody Marks?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a USC kid? I thought that offense went really well. And that's like kind of my question about this. Seeing how great that defense is. Look, Davis Mills was fine.
Game manager extraordinaire.
He was fine. And we'll have a conversation in the noon hour about quarterbacks and their expectations.
It wasn't like the Bills' defense was bad.
No, but Davis Mills just kind of
made some plays.
navigated it. There was that touchdown. God, I can't remember who it was in the end zone. I think it was to
Kirk.
Kirk.
Yeah.
That he was just wide open. And you watched, I think Herbie mentioned it on the broadcast. You saw Mills. He scanned left to right like that really quickly and saw Kirk and was like, doop, got it. I thought Mills, for being a backup quarterback that most people think sucks, especially because your name is Davis and not David, I was, if I'm a Houston Texans fan right now, I almost wonder if, I'm going to be crazy to say this, I almost wonder if Davis Mills can take you as far as CJ Stroud can. Not that he's better, but that this offense has some concerns that a guy like Davis Mills, who might not turn the ball over, can get you as far as you could go.
I think you kind of saw what the best you're going to get out of Davis Mills was last night.
Sure, but that's beating a very good Buffalo Bills team.
Yes, but also I think I think Stroud's a drastically better quarterback, and I don't
Without
think,
a doubt.
I think with Stroud, it was more, the Bills finished what last night? Did they end up getting a sack? No. That's why.
Davis Mills had no pressure.
Yeah.
Ever.
But that's what I mean. Like, if that's CJ Stroud back there and his brain isn't scrambled with a concussion, I think he had a pretty damn good game. Because he's been running for his life all season.
I know. So how, and that probably exposes Buffalo's problem, is that defense is not very good.
No, they're missing Ed Oliver, which that's a massive, massive hit. You didn't hear Bosa's name.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so you just kind of look up and down last night, and you're like,
And who was it that went out last night? Cole Bishop?
yeah,
Bishop went out last night.
Again, they're a team, to make a local comparison, like the Blazers. The important guys for them, and this is true of any team, but it's when your depth is not as good, or you have certain holes that guys that is their job to fill that hole, to fill that role. You lose that guy, and you're just like, we don't have the dudes otherwise. Like, it's a very like hyper specific niche role, and when you don't have that guy, like Milano's been beat up for them for so long. Bishop's been good for them. Ed Oliver, Ed Oliver's a guy you have to double team. And so all of a sudden, now you don't have that guy that you have to double team. Now you have maybe Bosa, who needs to get double teamed on pass rush plays, right? But beyond that, like if you miss that guy, it breaks the link in the chain for the front seven, or it breaks the link in the chain for the secondary. And again, this is true for any team, but some teams, good or great teams, are really good at covering up for, hey, you know what? We can't get pressure as well as we used to without this guy, but we can do some simulated pressures and we can drop back into coverage. We can be disrupted this way. The Bills don't have, like the Blazers, because of the style that they play and because of their particular personnel, they can't really zag. Like they are who they are, but if they can't be who they are, they don't have another gear. They don't have another thing they can go to. The Texans, they are so otherworldly defensively. They not only is their front just nasty, filthy, disgusting, the whole team wants to tear your head off. The secondary, I think they have 4 guys in the top 20 in pass breakups. They have 4 like nasty pass rushers.
Well, and you can get to a point sometimes where you're like, well, one of those interceptions by Josh Allen's was tipped, and that's why it was picked.
That's
Bro,
the
it was
point.
tipped. No, it was tipped because he didn't catch it. Because
Yeah.
Josh Allen threw it straight to that DB. He kind of alligatored it, and it popped up. Otherwise, that's his ball.
Yeah.
So that's a tough excuse. They're vicious. They're nasty. We had this stat yesterday that Russ found for me. Josh Allen was 8-0 on Thursdays. He is now 0-4 in Houston.
Look, man.
He's got a Houston problem.
Well, I mean, I think most people have a Houston problem. Look, they're
This
6-5, but it's not because of that defense.
Did it feel there were moments, and this is the credit that I will give the Bills. It's kind of like, what was the game we were talking about the other day that was like, you played this bad but still almost won? What was the game?
Bills?
No, it was the Seahawks. Seahawks.
Oh,
Rams.
the Rams, yeah.
The Seahawks turned the ball over 4 times, and the Seahawks
Had a
chance. game winning field goal at the end. There were multiple moments in the fourth quarter that I was like, wow, Buffalo's going to do this. Once Shakir fumbled that ball, I was like, I'm out.
Yep.
The hook and ladder, though, kind of got me. Rusty texted us in the group chat last night. I was like, I think they're going to do this.
It felt like there was some juju there.
It really did. And then Josh hurried and throws the ball away.
Just as a another ode to this defense, particularly these 2 guys, and Hunter and Will Anderson, combined, those guys had 12 total tackles, 4.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, a pass deflection, and 6 quarterback hits. Between those 2 dudes alone, And that doesn't account for Al-Shaair. It doesn't count for Tuotu. It doesn't account for Lassiter or Kalen Bullock. Like, you just go down the list. It's like Jalen Reed. That team, that defense, I said it coming into the season. There's just something about this defense. It's like they want to tear your head off. We have not had a defense like this in the NFL probably since the Ray Lewis Ravens. And not just in
Of
how
just
good,
being violent.
just like you go on the field and you know they are going to mess you up.
Because Legion of Boom was more of a kind of a complete thing.
Yes.
And less, there were definitely guys that would kill you.
Oh, man, Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor were
would
going to
hit
tear
you.
your head off.
Yeah. But Bobby Wagner and Bruce Irvin were just very good spatial linebackers. They could block the run.
Yep.
They could drop back into coverage if need be.
A bunch of Hall of Famers on the defense.
Totally.
This team wants to kill you. And the entire unit is built that way. Like, the number of times you just see them have vicious hits, it's like watching Jacked Up again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just waiting for Boom and God, what the hell was his name? I'm totally blanking on it now. Jackson to just be out there.
Jacked up.
You're just like, it's not headhuntery.
No. Well, you can't play that way anymore.
But like, that's the thing is like,
But you're
teams are
finding a new way.
Like, they're getting like they're riding that edge. Like, it's like playing Iowa. You know, coming out of that game, you win, lose, or draw, you're gonna feel a certain way, and it's not good.
Yeah, the identity of Houston, Texas is not their defense. It's D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah, I think
that dude is just such a bad man.
Well, again,
Seeing
how did
him
he
on the
play?
sideline? Yeah, very much like that. And him on the sideline, God, those guys gotta love him.
Yeah, he's
They
into
gotta
it.
love him. There was some cool talk about the Texans' defensive coordinator too.
Mhm.
He played safety at Dartmouth,
Yep.
but never was any good.
I mean, you know,
But he's been at DC a lot, and he's just D'Amico handed over the play call to him in the fourth game of the year, I think they said, and they've been lights out since. Because take 7 away from that 19, because that's a special teams run. That's 12 points given up.
Yep.
They averaged 16 a game. They kept the Bills to 12.
Yep. They're filthy, man.
Savage.
They're filthy.
We'll keep an eye on them throughout the year as Houston becoming one of the more interesting topics. And I'll read this text real quick and we'll get out of here. I'm the one who texted yesterday saying Josh Allen has to take over and win this. Well, I didn't anticipate that level of pressure and Allen to look that dysfunctional. This year in the NFL is a strange year where everything that should happen or the law of averages are not playing out. Still don't know who's great, elite, or bad. League is wide open.
It is. College football and the NFL are wide open. It is the parity era.
Because this could have been a playoff game easily.
Mhm.
Easily. Houston, let's say Houston wins their division and Buffalo's not. They're hosting that game, and this would have been like, that's a great playoff performance by an elite defense.
Yeah. If they get their offense together, here's a question for you. Who does this game mean more for? Is it as far as their identity? Is it mean more for Houston or more for Buffalo? Because I feel like we're sitting here talking about Houston because they deserve all of the flowers. And it wasn't about the Bills being bad. It was about the Texans being good.
I mean, I think this game talks more about Buffalo.
Do you?
Because Houston is who we thought they were.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the question is what does quarterback play do for them? Because outside of that, their defense showed up.
Mhm.
And
And they've showed up every week.
And Buffalo, I'm looking at like, bro, you got hurried 70 times. If James Cook doesn't have that 45-yard run, he's 75 yards, 60 yards rushing. Like, there's some problems in Buffalo.
I want to run down this real quick just to underscore just how good this defense is. They gave up to go through the season. The Houston Texans defensively have given up 14 points to the Rams, 20 points to the Bucks, 10 points to the Jags, shut out the Titans, 10 points to the Ravens, 27 to the Seahawks on the road, 15 to the 49ers, 18 to the Broncos, 29 to the Jags, 13 to the Titans, 19 to the Bills. That is disgusting. They've given up more than 20 points. Two times?
It's elite.
Good God.
It's something you can count on, especially because you can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. When we come back, we'll slide over into college football as the drama keeps on going as the lane turns in the SEC. But first, there's Rusty with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the number 7 Oregon Ducks continue their quest for the college football playoff tomorrow afternoon, hosting number 15 USC. The Ducks 9.5-point favorites in the 12:30 kick on CBS. Live coverage from Autzen Stadium here on The Fan. Begins at 8 a.m. with Ducks Game Day. You got Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman live from Autzen Stadium. Stick around through network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz. Over in the association, the Trailblazers start a 3-game road trip with an NBA Cup game tonight at the Warriors. 7 o'clock tip. That is 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday, Shaden Sharp, Robert Williams III, they are all questionable. Jeremy Grant, though, is probable after dealing with an illness. The Blazers are 7.5-point underdogs. Jake Fisher reporting the Clippers have applied for a disabled player exception after the season-ending hip injury to Bradley Beal. In the NFL, Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka says quarterback Jackson Dart remains in concussion protocol. He will not play Sunday against the Lions. Jameis Winston gets his second straight start. Russell Wilson will again be the backup. And Lions head coach Dan Campbell says tight end Sam Laporta had back surgery. His odds of returning the season are, quote, very, very slim. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Brust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Boy, it feels like sports truly are the most soap opera-y thing we could think of these days. We've all heard the phrase that sports is just soap opera for men, for the bras, for the broskies. Boy, it feels like that in college football right now more than absolutely ever. I love calling this as the lane turns and talking about Lane Kiffin and the fact that this story just won't go away and gets crazier and crazier and crazier by the second.
It's the simple things in life, man.
I for the first
Modern
time
day college football soap opera.
For the first time, I think he's leaving. That's where I am on this now. I firmly believe he's gone.
I think he really doesn't want to.
And he knows he has to.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, I really wanted him to stay there. Because the scary thing now with Lane, I mean, there are reports all over the place that his ex-wife and their kids have visited Gainesville. They have visited Baton Rouge. They are looking around campuses.
And he's, for those who don't, he's back with his ex. So
oh, are they together?
They've been there are a bunch of photos and stuff like that. So
well, she was a hot.
Yeah,
she was a very big
Look,
hot.
Lane Kiffin, not a bad looking guy.
Not a bad looking dude, and being on that Pete Carroll staff in Southern California did him wonders.
Yes.
I'm sure Sark has a gorgeous wife too.
I'm sure they all did well.
I'm sure they all did well. Even Big O's probably got himself a good looker too.
Hey, look, man, some women out there, look, they like the chubbies, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fatty myself.
I
I'm just
got
short
one.
and fatty.
Look, President Company included. Like we're all in this together.
But I think old Lane has you know, we've kind of talked about this a lot, that I think this is a really hard decision for Lane. I think he's trying so desperately not to mess it up, like he has a lot of decisions in the past. And it's weird because it's weird to think that doing the right thing, which in theory would be staying at Ole Miss and staying loyal to a college football playoff team you've built, is the wrong decision.
Right?
It is the wrong decision to be the good guy.
Mhm.
You think he's going to Florida?
I want him to go to Florida. I think the fit is better, but if I close my eyes,
I want him to go to Michigan, but
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
but if I close my eyes and just kind of picture it, the first thing that pops in my head is LSU.
Well, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think Rusty, before the show started, had a great point that just him in the visor and the bad tan just screams Florida.
It does.
It really
It does. But I can also see him in that white LSU jacket with the visor.
You know what I think? You know why I don't want him to go to LSU, even though I think he will go to LSU, is I don't think I've ever really liked LSU. I don't know if it's the purple that's just creeping into my subconscious.
See, I loved watching Tyrann Mathieu play football.
Yeah.
Give me some Honey Badger all day. I loved Joe Burrow.
I loved Joe too. But I was not a fan of Jamarcus and Matt Flynn. I was not a fan of that era.
No. But the teams that I did love at LSU, I loved. Like these are fun teams.
And that 2019 might be the best collection of talent we've ever seen.
On offense.
An interesting tweet that I'll throw out into the ethers for us from a Matt Zenitz. If/when Lane Kiffin is hired as LSU's head coach, LSU is open to former Tigers head coach Ed Orgeron being part of Kiffin's staff, sources tell CBS Sports. Kiffin and Orgeron have a long-standing relationship, and that's the end of the tweet, as we know from their SC days.
Go Beavers.
I think that's a great look, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, Edo is as much fun it would be to have him come to Oregon State. Is a dogged recruiter. He's a culture guy. You know, he I don't think he has necessarily the.
He can do some O-line action.
Well, yeah, but that too.
From a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, but it's also like he's a culture guy. He's a dude, and look, Lane is too. And I think I don't think it's necessarily about replicating USC because I don't think you can't do what USC did from the talent standpoint of like. By the way, here's 80 NFL players over the course of 4 years. Have fun. You can't do that in college football anymore. But what you can do is you can try to kind of replicate that culture. And look at Lane at Ole Miss. How fun are those teams over the last 2 years?
They've been great.
Like, not only been great, but like, how fun have they been? Like, when you watch an Ole Miss game, is it not fun?
It's very fun, especially at quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, we always talk, we always give him so much credit for his work with quarterbacks. And his last two quarterbacks have been really fun to watch. Chambliss came out of nowhere. And, if that starter doesn't get hurt, I can't even remember his name. That's how much we've been in Chambliss. We might not see him. I think you're getting, though, to the point, the real big struggle of this is Lane's got to decide quickly, because the fear from people is that he's now recruiting guys internally from Ole Miss to go to LSU. And that, we'll get to a little Bobby Petrino kind of comments that he made coming up
Trinidad
next.
Chambliss, come on down.
But it's like, or if Chambliss is like, no, I don't want to, then it's like, does anybody have Sam Levitt's phone number that I can get real quick? And I think that's the danger. And I don't know if we'll ever see a situation like this of a college football playoff team potentially losing their coach before, because DeBoer went to Alabama, but we didn't know Saban was going to retire until after the national championship.
See, I feel like, and this is just me, I feel like it's not a foregone conclusion that he's leaving, because I think that in today's landscape with the NIL and whatnot, and just even putting that aside, your typical SEC powers are not in the same position that they typically are in, right? Like Florida is not your typical power. They had been for a long time. LSU has been struggling. Alabama is not the Alabama that we knew.
Nobody's that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So
Georgia might be the closest.
Georgia, yes, Georgia, and that's the one that seems like it's kind of like the head and shoulders above the rest of the conference. So I think that he can look, if he's interested in it. I think he can stay at Ole Miss and make that one of the new standards in the SEC, and then that's when he puts his own Lane Kiffin stamp on something, instead of going and being just another one in the long line of coaches at like LSU or Florida.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that factor in this that kind of make things difficult, and that's what I want to get to next. Bobby Petrino, who's the interim coach at Arkansas, had some comments to make kind of about structure and some things. And that might be what is needed for college football to prevent this kind of situation. Now, this might be a very unique situation of Lane Kiffin, of a coach potentially leaving a college football playoff team. But what could you do to prevent that? I think I got an idea, and I can't believe it, but I might be siding with Bobby Petrino here a little bit. We'll get to that next. 105.1 The Fan. And 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. Go ahead and jump on there and hang out with us. Read a couple texts here. From a human level, feels like Kiffin has finally found his footing. Feels weird to risk that and enter the pressure cooker that is LSU. I guess these guys are where they are because they're built different than one of us, though. Also, I wouldn't put it past Lane to be a reason to try and push Ole Miss into adding their NIL. He has all the leverage right now. And it's funny that we all kind of agree with this sentiment.
Yeah, 100%.
That, like, Lane is in control and should stay at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And we
make him Virginia Tech this thing.
we talk about make them Indiana this
Yeah.
thing, like force them to really invest in it.
Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing here.
Look what I'm doing without it.
Yes, give it to me.
Bobby Petrino had some really interesting comments. Now, I know Bobby Petrino is a much maligned individual for his history and his motorcycle situations and the hots and all that, the neck brace press conference and his terrible stint in the NFL. But when talking about college coaches getting fired, and this kind of relates to coaches jumping around, he said, quote, it's a hard situation to jump into and have to take over like that. My first thing to say is that they need to make a new law that you can't do that in the middle of the year. That would be a great thing for everybody. Probably not going to happen now that there are going to be 9 conference games. And he goes on to talk about how difficult these 9 conference games are going to be in the SEC and blah, 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 like cry me a river. We've been doing this in the Pac-12 since the birth of time. So I don't want to hear about that. But I think what he's bringing up, and I think a lot of this can be related to when the transfer portal opens up. And we've talked about this in the past with Ryan Day and his comments, like, how am I supposed to be recruiting if I'm in a semifinal? Like, I can't be worried about my guys in the transfer portal. And maybe coaches need to adhere to that as well, that maybe coaches need some sort of area. It's never going to be a law. I think that's a little extreme. But maybe they should try and look at this in that way as well, of finding a time period in which you can navigate and it doesn't affect recruiting. Because look, if Lane Kiffin's, we talked about how you send your assistants to guys, but when you need to close the deal, when Ole Miss wants Arch Manning, it's Lane Kiffin in his living room. It's not his OC or his top recruiter who's the wide receivers coach or whatever it is. It's Lane in there. Now, if you can move the transfer portal to after bowl season and put coach's window in there as well, look, I think if you're a kid that was going to go to Ole Miss because of Lane and he ends up leaving, why? And guys decommit all the time. Why can't you just go with that coach wherever he goes?
So, do you remember in September, Fran Brown, the Syracuse head coach?
I do.
For those that don't know, he was on the I Am an Athlete podcast. He was talking about transfers and all that kind of stuff. He went on kind of a weird tangent. He kind of threw this little thing in there to be like, gas himself up, I guess. I don't know. But in talking about this, he said, I don't even care. Dudes be trying to push up on my wife. She's bad. She don't even got to tell me. It's just the game. It's what they do. For me, I don't care, but let me find out and then I see you because I ain't no B. And he was talking about coaches coming in and stealing.
Sure that wasn't Dan Lanning saying I ain't no B?
Yeah. But yeah, he said Lanning said the same thing. But he further clarified after putting his wife up there, which I get.
So weird.
It's kind of, I'm normally like, whatever, but that just is such a weird thing to like make that tangent and then come back. But I do squirrel moments all the time, whatever. If you got a baddie, you got a baddie. But he cleared up with, or followed up with, if they came and they did it illegally and I find out, I'm not going to go telling you, but I'm going to come at you like, what's up? I'm going to see you. There's a couple of dudes I called and they tried to say, hey, lose my line. Like, man, shut up. And he's basically saying, game is game, but if I find out, I'm coming at your neck.
We don't need any extra motivation to come in and want to whoop your ass.
Look, Nick Saban, I will drive this home until people understand it fully. At the NFL draft, when Quinyon Mitchell is drafted, after Saban leaves Alabama, is sitting on that desk, is talking about Quinyon Mitchell at Toledo and how good he is, and how when he was at Alabama, he tried to steal him in the transfer portal when he was on the roster, which is not allowed.
Right.
So if it's happening with Nick Saban, who's the godfather of college football, you better damn well believe it's happening everywhere.
And that's why it's kind of, that's the interesting part about the NIL is we've kind of made this stuff all okay that we knew was going on anyway.
Yeah.
So why not put up some fences, some guardrails to keep this from going off the edge? Because I think so far, early returns on the NIL, I think are pretty good.
Yeah.
Now you have your Nico situation.
I think we're looking at like a 95% approval rate.
Yeah, you have your Nico situations. Your Underwood was a different situation, but kind of weird as well. at
Julian
Michigan.
Sayin, after Saban left, goes to Ohio State.
You have some of those weird outliers, but not, Underwood's not a bad story. Sayin's not a bad story. The Nico is a bad
Yeah,
story.
Jaden Rashada in all the lawsuits and everything that came out of
Without
that.
a doubt.
95% might be selling it low. It's probably closer to like 98%.
And so if we're going to embrace all of this, maybe some guardrails need to be put up, and maybe coaches and players lump them in the same. Because if you set the rules in a certain way, guys are still going to find ways to circumvent them and do it anyway. So if Lane can't leave, using Lane as an example, if Kiffin can't leave until after the national championship, but players also can't leave till after the national championship, to me,
they're still going to talk.
I know they're going to talk, but to me, that still feels like an even playing field. Because what do we talk about all the time? Coaches can leave whenever they want, but players can't. They got to sit out. And we changed that.
Yep.
And now maybe it's time to change something with the coaches.
Can I offer you not necessarily a solution, but something that might slow this down?
Side note, if you deserve to get fired in the middle of the season, you're fired.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can wait till the end. Like, Kelly had to go.
Yes, 100%.
Franklin had to go. Whether you agree or disagree, they had to go.
What if let's use Levitt as an example. Sam Levitt, Arizona State, and then the rumors around him being shopped. Let's use for a round number, Sam Levitt has a $3 million NIL deal.
Sure.
Whether it's through the partnership with the university or with a car dealership. I don't
Sounds very plausible for Sam Levitt.
I don't care what it's through. For Sam Levitt to leave without his coach leaving, you have to pay to buy him out. And the university gets that money back, and whatever NIL collective or car dealership, their deal just ends.
And if there's an NIL cap, that wouldn't count against it.
Yes.
It would just be like your bonus payments or a fine to the league or something like that.
It's a separate pool, an allocation money to buy somebody out of their contract. And that may be how the big programs keep the leg up on the other programs, is that they have more money in the buyout pool.
Yeah, if let's take Dan Lanning down the road for a second. Or let's I don't know what his buyout is off the top of my head. Let's say it's $50 million, okay? If UW wants him, they can't afford that. Okay? If Penn State wants him, they can't afford that. But if Georgia wants to pay that, that is the benefit you have from being one of those blue bloods.
Yes.
Is that you can afford that buyout. And that might be where you can still let the blue bloods, quote unquote, have their power.
Or
is that money doesn't go against their collective.
Or, that money, again, is if you go to buy a player. Like that's because we have coach buyouts already. So why can't we have player buyouts as it pertains to NIL value?
I know, and I always talk to you about wanting trades in college football.
This is the closest thing we can get to it.
Yeah.
Because,
I'll trade you Sam Levitt, but I want those 2 5-star freshman D linemen out of Arkansas that you got.
See, that part won't happen because those kids aren't going to allow for that part, nor should they.
No.
But if a kid does want to go out, I shouldn't say kid, young man wants to go out and go to another school, but he has signed a contract for. That's the thing is, I think some of these NIL deals should have multiple years to them. Like especially if you're getting the big money ones.
Well, yeah, and I think that's coming once this whole thing gets unionized. I think somebody, a Nico, when he takes his NIL, he has signed a 3-year contract at Tennessee, and you are there for 3 years. Now you can negotiate.
You
a
can
buyout.
go, but either you buy it out, or the
other
school
team
that you're
does.
going to buys it out.
Oh man, we're getting there. We're so close.
But I think that would maybe slow some of this down. And again, I want these players to have the same level of mobility as coaches.
Totally.
But a coach can't just leave unless he's fired. If you leave, it's because what? You got bought out. So why can't we do the same for the players?
And I just think you should have to wait to get bought out until the end.
I mean, this allows for.
What if Ole Miss goes on a run and wins a national championship? Are you going to leave Ole Miss to LSU?
Probably not.
Probably not. And that's probably why he's dragging his feet, because he's like, can I win this? Can I do this?
We had this discussion, yesterday, the day before? If I told you Ole Miss won a national title, would you be shocked?
Nope. I think 75% of the teams in the college football playoff, I think, have a legitimate shot to win it.
Yeah. Probably the top 7-8 teams have a chance to win the title.
I don't think they're all the best team.
No.
But I think they all
the
got a
top
shot
4 are
this
the
year.
4 best teams in the country. But
Agreed.
on any given day, every team in the college football playoff right now, outside of, for me, Oklahoma and Tulane, could beat the team in the top 4.
If I told you that Noah Whittington and Jordan Davison had 240 yards combined against Georgia, it wouldn't shock me.
No.
And Dante threw a touchdown to win.
If Texas Tech just ran rampant
over Ohio State, it wouldn't shock me if Marcel Reed had 4 touchdowns, 400 yards.
For A&M, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock
Like,
me.
that's what I mean. Like, if Mendoza goes out there and Indiana blitzes everybody and beats the hell out of everybody because Sig's been coaching better than literally any coach in college football, would that shock me? No.
Nope, not at all.
So it's an interesting kind of spot where everything's at.
All right, we'll get into our number deuce and kind of try to predict the college football playoff a little bit as it's coming down to the wire. Is this conference the only conference with a lock if you are 10-2? Also, we'll get into our final Oregon thoughts. We'll take our stroll through the morning Pacific Northwest Dew and look at the games coming up ahead in your neck of the woods. And we'll make our picks plus some web gems. All that next in our number deuce. The Firm, 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust with your Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the number 7 Oregon Ducks continue their quest for the college football playoff tomorrow afternoon, hosting number 15 USC. The Ducks, 9.5-point favorites. It's a 12:30 kick on CBS. Live coverage from Autzen Stadium begins at 8 a.m. with Ducks Game Day. Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman will be on site. Stick around through network coverage for the Ducks post-game scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz. Over in the association, the Trailblazers start a 3-game road trip with an NBA Cup game tonight at the Warriors. 7 o'clock tip on K2 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday, Shaden Sharp, Robert Williams III, they're all questionable. Jeremy Grant is probable after dealing with an illness. The Blazers are 7.5-point underdogs. Jake Fisher reporting the Clippers have applied for a disabled player exception after the season-ending hip injury to Bradley Beal. In the NFL, Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka says quarterback Jackson Dart remains in concussion protocol. He will not play Sunday against the Lions. Jameis Winston gets his second straight start, and Russell Wilson will be the backup again. Colts head coach Shane Steichen says quarterback Daniel Jones, despite being limited in practice yesterday due to a calf issue, he was a full participant today and will play on Sunday. And Lions head coach Dan Campbell says tight end Sam Laporta had back surgery. His odds of returning the season are, quote, very, very slim. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, hour number deuce. Thanks for sticking with us here. If you missed any of the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can also check out previous shows on the YouTubes, youtube.com/1051thefan. If you missed Dan Lanning on Primetime yesterday, you can go back and check that out as well, or any of the first hour of this fine program you can check out there as well, or the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. Rewind, fast forward, except for Into the Future. For that would be impossible. Coming up this hour, we'll dive back into Oregon USC, take our stroll through the Pacific Northwest and kind of check out the morning dew and how the games look this weekend. Plus, Web Gems is a fun story for us. But talking about, and this kind of relates to Oregon USC as well, there was a story on footballscoop.com written by, let's see, what's his name? Zach Barnett, kind of talking about two lost teams in the Big Ten and the SEC. And is there a pathway for basically saying if you're a two-loss team in either of this conference, you are in? And I think on the surface sounds like, oh yeah, totally, that would happen. But where it stands right now, and there's a lot of what ifs here, but where it stands right now, if Oklahoma and Vanderbilt win out, because I assume the other ones ahead of them in the SEC win out, and if Michigan and USC win out, that would be 11 two-loss teams. Sorry, that would be 12 two-loss teams from the SEC and the Big Ten. Now, you got to have some dominoes fall, obviously. SC's got to beat Oregon this weekend, and Michigan in 2 weeks is going to have to take down Ohio State. And I have a strong feeling I believe USC could beat Oregon more than I do Michigan beating Ohio State.
Michigan, Ohio State, for whatever reason,
Ryan Day's got a Sharon Moore problem now, I guess, which I can't believe anybody in the planet has a Sharon Moore problem. Michigan has a Sharon Moore problem, which would create a world of 12 two-loss teams in the Big Ten and the SEC. I don't see how that would happen. And unfortunately, I think you would get judged based on your brand more than you would the actual team. Like if you're looking at the SEC right now, if everything finishes the way it does, I think you would have 6 two-loss teams, and the team that would be on the outside looking in would probably be Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Because they're Vandy.
Also, let me pull up their schedule real quick. I think they would probably have the weakest schedule. I mean, A&M.
They would.
A&M has the weakest schedule. So Vandy,
but A&M can walk in undefeated or one loss in the SEC title game, which we've been told is not a punishment.
But Vandy's wins would be against the ranked opponents that they beat at the time. South Carolina was 11 at the time. LSU was 10 at the time. Missouri was 15 at the time. And right now, Tennessee, who they closed the season with at Tennessee, is 20th. So they would have some quote-unquote ranked wins with their losses to at Texas and at Alabama. So it's a pretty good schedule.
And the Texas loss is a whoop.
Yeah, it's 30. No, Texas was 34-31.
But it was like,
oh yeah,
it was like 28-7 going into halftime.
They closed at the end of the game. The team that would 100% be left out in that is Michigan. Now they would have the best win,
even if they beat Ohio State. You think they're out? If USC were to beat Oregon,
yes, because if
you would have the head-to-head.
Well, number one, the head-to-head, and you want to talk about a whooping? That was a whooping.
Yeah,
USC just took Michigan to the dog shit.
Does Michigan
it was-
do they have any quality wins? I feel like
it would be Ohio State.
I feel like they're and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have their schedule up with me. I feel like Michigan's
Only ranked win would be Ohio State.
and what's their only other like they're a little A&M.
They lost
me
to
in this-
Oklahoma in week 2.
Okay, I was going to say their schedule to me is a little A&M-y in the sense that they dodged a lot of bullets in the Big Ten, did they not?
Yes, the only other like good
They beat UW.
Big Ten teams that they played were USC and Washington,
and they beat UW.
They manhandled UW 24/7.
Yeah, their schedule's kind of easy, but they're just not very good. I just wonder if
I mean, their last 3 wins: Michigan State 31-20, Purdue 21-16, Northwestern 24-22. Michigan's getting left out.
Oklahoma's a college football playoff team though right now.
Yeah, that was 24-13 and it wasn't that close.
But my argument, and not my argument, my hypothesis is Michigan a big enough brand to get in while you leave a Vandy out?
If you're talking about who gets in between those two teams, brand-wise, it's Michigan.
Vandy's
but
the better
Vandy's
team.
the better team, and their resume is better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not a world beater resume.
No.
But if you go to the end of the season you go into Neyland and you beat Tennessee,
That's a tough place to play.
in your rivalry game, that's a good win, man. If you're 10-2 and your 2 losses, if you're Vandy, are to Alabama and Texas, both on the road, and you go beat Missouri, you beat Auburn, again, not that much, but you beat LSU, you handle South Carolina early in the season. I don't know how much I'm giving that, but you beat Kentucky and you beat Tennessee on the way out. That is a better resume than Michigan.
Without a doubt, even if they beat Ohio State. Because, boy, you want to talk about Texas A&M's week schedule? I present to you Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, they don't play anybody.
They got lucky that Penn State sucks.
Mhm.
And that
was-
Texas game,
That was supposed to be a huge game for them. And then the Texas game, remember how ugly that game was?
it was very, very
Was it
ugly.
14-9?
14-7.
Ugh.
And Arch couldn't do anything, but Julian Sand looked like a true freshman. He looked like he couldn't do anything.
I really wonder if that game had been played in Texas.
Oh, if the outcome is a little different?
Yeah.
Do you think the crowd might have helped it out?
Yeah.
Have you seen the BCS standings? If the BCS were alive
No.
today? I saw this last night or 2 nights ago. If the BCS were alive today, it's almost a carbon copy of the college football playoff. From 1 to 25.
I mean, they're using.
I think it's like they have North Texas ahead of James Madison or the other way around. I can't remember who's ahead of who, but they have that kind
a
of
lot of
flip.
those metrics are very similar. Bartu's been kind of on this too.
Top 10's exactly the same.
Yeah.
First team out is exactly the same. USC is in the same spot as they are in,
Which
in the top
again,
25.
Maybe it's my bias, but I feel like they would or should be higher because I again not by that much. I had them at 13 and not 15.
But I also think USC comes into that world too of a little bit of a struggle of a schedule as well.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of great stuff on there. We don't think Michigan's good. The Illinois loss doesn't look as good anymore. The Iowa win, I will respect it always
It's a
and
good
forever, but I don't know if the committee looks at an Iowa win as a good win anymore. Now that Oregon NSC has beat them, it drops them out.
But
even though they're the
those are-
nastiest 4-loss team in the world.
I mean, they are the antithesis to the Carolina Panthers.
I just hope that if in some sort of scenario that there are, for this example, there could be 7 2-loss SEC teams and 5 2-loss Big Ten teams. I hope for the sake of transparency and setting the tone in the future that if you had to choose between, say, a Michigan and Vanderbilt, that they give it to Vanderbilt and not Michigan. Because if they give it to Michigan, man, then we already know what we already yell about.
The unfortunate part of that is the flip side of that story. What conference is Vanderbilt in?
The SEC. It just means more.
And then you're going to get that narrative. But it should
But I would
be.
rather take the SEC narrative because I could tell you that I think on a neutral site, Vanderbilt would dog walk Michigan.
I do too.
And I think I would rather have that conversation and deal with the bias of the SEC than have to sit here and be like,
Well, Michigan's actually kind of good.
and Michigan loses to North Texas in the first round.
Yeah.
I would rather avoid that situation. So then people are like, well, what happened to Michigan? Well, they matched up poorly. It's like, no, they shouldn't have been
Do you
there.
remember North Carolina in the NCAA tournament?
Yes.
Like they
Everybody was
deserve
like,
to be
they
there.
gotta be in there.
They get in there and they just get waxed.
They were,
and you're like,
they were god awful.
yeah, dude.
Because they were god awful.
But we
all
knew why they
year.
got in. It was the brand.
It was brand. All right. Whoa. A little heated, a little fired up today.
Look at you.
Well, I'm headed down to Eugene in like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm not leaving till the morning.
I'm ready to party it up in Junction City.
You know it's a big deal because over your shoulder right now, they have had the crews at Autzen on ESPN all day. This game is the game this weekend,
Which is interesting because it's not an SEC game, so why do they care?
Well, because you were watching Pat McAfee, and they're in Eugene for game day, and so
Well, because McAfee, I love, despite working for the giant brand that he works for, McAfee will be like, you know what? Stick it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about.
Well, McAfee, he's paid by ESPN, but he works for himself.
Yes.
Which,
he's
to be
done quite
fair,
well for himself.
I enjoy it.
Let's slide into Oregon USC. That's the game of the week. You can catch that action right here on the Fan. All day coverage. It actually starts at 6 a.m. with Football Saturday with Joe and Rashad, and then pregame with Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, and Dusty Harris starting at 10 or at 8 o'clock. They turn it over at 10:30 to the Duck pregame guys, and then games at 12:30. So stick right here on the Fan all day tomorrow. I will be listening in the morning when I get up. I'm even going to go say hi to the boys in the morning show, and you should too. Let's get our last thoughts. Maybe not our last thoughts, but let's give some thoughts about this Oregon USC matchup. This is your chance as well, listeners out there. Get your final thoughts in 503-864-6326 or on the YouTube chat. Oregon USC playoff game on the line. Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan. We'll take a stroll around the morning dew in the Pacific Northwest here in about 15 minutes. Look at all the games. Big game for my club this weekend. Big game. I believe the Beavers are off, so we'll skip that. So we'll get to that in about 15 minutes. But let's get back into this Oregon-USC game, huh? Kind of off the heels of the conversation we just had. One thing, if I am a Duck supporter and a Duck fan, which I am not, but I'm happy to root for you guys in the sense I hope you all have a great time.
See, there it is. I knew it.
What?
Rooting for the Ducks.
Oh, Homer, huh? My colors show. I think the shirt on I have underneath this has a little bit of green on it. Is that it? Just selling it out?
You're just trying to cover your heart.
Trying to sell it out, huh? I think the biggest concern, and it's wild that we think about this, because at the beginning of this season, we have Tyson Alger on every Wednesday at 10:30, and we talked with him at the beginning, and I think if you listen to the other programs on this leading sports station here in Portland, we're all on the same page. At the beginning of the year, nobody had any idea what to expect from these Ducks. But it's amazing that they've gone this far with only one loss and have won in some impressive fashion and some grind-out kind of games, that it would be a disappointment if they don't make the playoff. And I think the marbles on this game are a playoff. I don't see a world. It would take a lot to happen, but I don't see a world in which Oregon loses this game and doesn't get in the playoff. I don't think they will have any issues with Washington. I am out on Washington. I was in for a little bit. The Michigan game really pissed me off when it comes to them, and the Wisconsin game is like point of no return. Now I'm out. So the Ducks finished the year with 2 losses, and I think everybody would agree that would be a great finish to the season for this program on a year with a brand new offensive line. Nobody was returning, a brand new, truly untested quarterback in Dante Moore, and wondering where the hell this team is going to come out. I don't know if I see a world where this team with 2 losses makes it into the playoff. And that's where the extra... Look, I think Oregon is the better team than USC. I think they are the better coached. I think they are the better personnel, the better schemed across the board.
More depth, for sure.
More depth. Obviously, Mekhi Lemon is probably the best player on the field on Saturday.
Yes.
Offense or defense for either teams. Yeah, Mekhi Lemon is probably number 1. But across the board, I will take Oregon in a lot of stuff. But that's where it kind of comes in. You've all of a sudden created expectations on a team that had unknown expectations at the beginning. And that could be where your pucker factor starts.
To be fair, I think there's unknown expectations for both of these teams. If we go back to the beginning of the year, this what we talked about as far as Oregon, Dirt and I was like, man, if you told me Oregon won 8 or 9 games or went undefeated, I'd say, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I picked them to win 10 games. If USC wins, they're 10 games.
Yeah.
If Oregon wins, they go over. That's 10.5 is the line for Oregon this year.
And my parlay hits.
You had the over or the under?
I had the over.
I had the under, right? Yeah, that's what it was. Because I picked them to win 10. I think you picked them to win 11. And I think I don't think I looked at USC. I think I looked at Penn State.
Yeah,
we
all did.
And then I was like, they had that string of, Iowa, USC, Washington. I'm like, one of those.
Super high on Washington at the beginning of the year. USC, like Oregon, was kind of an unknown too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. USC, I picked to win 8 games. They've won 8 games. For me,
their house money now.
That's where I'm playing right now.
If you lose to UCLA, bro, I'm going to make fun of you really bad.
Oh, look, if they lose to UCLA, I'm going to be pissed. They should win 9 games now.
Yeah, they should.
But they have the potential now to go win 10 games. That's the world they live in. And it's very interesting that for 2 teams that, while the expectations for Oregon were certainly higher, nobody knew. Nobody knew. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew about what Dante Moore was going to be. The offensive line was going to be. The wide receiver room was going to be. We knew the defense was going to be good because there was a lot of returners, and even the guys that weren't returning, inbound transfers like Dylan Thieneman, who's a stud. Like, yeah, you had some questions at the corner spots, but as far as athlete profile, size, and all those things, they're big as hell. So everything about that made sense. But on the other side of the ball, we didn't really know what ended up happening with Oregon. The defense is really good. Mm-hmm. The running game is really good.
Really good.
The offense, as far as the passing game, can be explosive, but can be a little inconsistent. So a lot of those things came true. With USC, they can run the ball. They're running all the stats right now.
Sneakily run the ball. People aren't giving them credit for it.
USC's 3rd in the Big Ten in rushing. They're third. I've got their big play stats up right now. USC is tied for 6th in explosive plays of 10-plus yards, 177. The leader's Ole Miss at 185. In 20-plus yards, Oregon is 2. USC is tied for 9th. There's a difference of 9 plays. In 30-plus yards or more, USC is 29th. Oregon is, let's see, where is it at? I just lost it. Sorry. Oregon's 21st, and you're looking at a difference of, I think, 1 play. Yes. So it's like they both get things done, but they do it very, very, very differently. Where obviously USC is a much more prolific passing game as far as like who they go to and how they go about it and how they spread the ball around and the air yards being bigger, where what Oregon really thrives is that not necessarily check down, but the shorter throws and getting guys in space. It's not the Chip Kelly get guys in space. Was it Davison or Whittington that ran behind the tackle for like 7 yards and then broke the big play last week?
Whittington.
That's Oregon.
Yeah.
They're going to get a big chunk play of like 6 or 7 yards, but if your second level doesn't do their job, which is what scares the crap about me about USC, because the second level is where it gets a little dicey, and you saw it happening against Notre Dame. It wasn't Jeremiah Love, just breaking free. It was bounce out, get around a guy, then go because somebody made the wrong read, something along those lines. But the way they get it done is very different, but they're both prolific in their own ways. And so you look at how this game lines up and how it matches up. You have explosive offenses in different facets. You've got top-end players in different areas. Like DeCorian Moore's a great player. He's not Jeremiah Smith. He's not out there, about to set a freshman wide receiving record. You know what I mean?
But he's still very, very talented.
Yes.
Very raw.
But there's like a sliding scale of these things where the certainties in these two teams is that USC's offense is what they are. They don't get the credit that they probably should get for being able to run the ball. Oregon's defense is as great as it is. They probably don't get the credit for being as consistent as they are. They don't get as many disruptives as people want them to have, including us.
But nobody's blowing them out. Even Indiana punched him in the face, but didn't blow him out.
No, and that's what I mean. So it's like, for me, it's a really interesting game. And if I had to, number one, I'm picking Oregon to win. But number two, I think the ESPN metric has it like 70-30. I'm probably closer to 65-35 or 60-40. I think it's a little closer than that because I think the top end guys that USC has in Lemon and Lane and like the problems that they pose for every team in the country is just not easily solvable.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about which departments, it's a top offense versus a top defense, but is the real story the Oregon offense versus the SC defense?
Which I believe it is.
We've talked a lot about, can Oregon's secondary contain? You're not going to stop Makai Lemon. Can you contain him? For me, when I look at a player on each team that I'm going to be watching specifically, this is my Makai Lemon game. Because as much as I've watched USC, I haven't really had the chance to just...
And the highlights I've force-fed you?
Yes, just watch Makai, and I'm excited to use my own eyeballs to watch Makai Lemon. That's my guy for USC, but that's more of a pure entertainment factor. Yeah. The guy I'm going to watch for Oregon, where I think this all boils down to, is Dante Moore.
Yep.
And we say it every time in these big games. Dante can't make a mistake, but I'll tell you what, if Dante gets going, it could be a long day for USC.
Yeah.
Because I think I heard somebody, it might have been Andy this morning on the Sunrise guys. The talk of a shootout, if you're in a shootout with Oregon and USC, that means Dante's cooking. And if Dante's cooking, I think there could be a big problem. Because if Dante's cooking, the running game is going to get going too. And that's where real problems
I agree with him in a sense of the shootout, but I think it will be because Oregon breaks big runs. That's what Notre Dame did.
Yeah, and if it's a shootout where you're behind, where Oregon's behind, that's a different... For both teams, actually.
Yeah.
If Oregon's behind in a shootout, that's a big problem.
Because now you're asking Dante to... It's not a can you, it's you have to.
And if USC's behind in a shootout, it's going, uh-oh.
You got to get a stop.
Everything is humming, and that's where we don't know.
So
is the stop. Can USC make the big stop when needed?
And where again, I like Lincoln Riley as a head coach. His faults when they show up, they really piss me off. In the Notre Dame game, they chose to drop into coverage and say, we're gonna let Jeremiah Love run, which was insane to me. I'm sitting there going,
best running back in the country.
Make the freshman quarterback make plays. If CJ Carr beats you, then so help me God, CJ Carr beats you.
Then CJ Carr fires up the Heisman Trophy, and we start talking about, does a freshman win a Heisman
because
Trophy?
He was erratic that whole game.
Totally.
And I'm just like, if I'm USC, I'm loading the box. Dante Moore, beat me. And it's not a shot at Dante Moore.
No, it's not.
But I know what that running game can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is that how you would attack it?
Without a doubt.
If you're USC?
Without a doubt.
Load the box and say, Dante, make the throws.
100%. Don't let them run all over you. If they get 230 yards rushing against you, it's over.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll take our stroll around the Pacific Northwest, walk you out in the morning dew, and take a look at these games, including officially making our picks for this Oregon USC game, along with Wazoo takes on James Madison. Check in on the Huskies and see if they will again. So we'll get there next. But first, the Big Kahuna with sports.
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the number 7 Oregon Ducks continue their quest for the college football playoff tomorrow afternoon, hosting number 15 USC. The Ducks, 9.5-point favorites in the 12:30 kick on CBS. Live coverage from Autzen Stadium begins at 8 a.m. with Ducks Game Day. Dirt, Dusty, Anthony Newman, they will be live from Eugene. Stick around through network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz. Over in the association, the Trailblazers start a 3-game road trip with an NBA Cup game tonight at the Warriors. 7 o'clock tip on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday, Shaden Sharp, Robert Williams III, they are all questionable. Jeremy Grant, probable after dealing with an illness. The Blazers are 7.5-point dogs. Over in the NFL, Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka says Jackson Dart remains in concussion protocol. He will not start at quarterback Sunday against the Lions. Jameis Winston gets his second straight start. Russell Wilson will again be the backup. Colts head coach Shane Steichen says Daniel Jones, despite being limited in practice yesterday due to a calf issue, he was a full participant today and will play on Sunday. And Lions head coach Dan Campbell says tight end Sam Laporta had back surgery. His odds of returning this season are, quote, very, very slim. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
I spit like a semi-automatic to the ground.
Everybody's favorite web gems coming up here in about 10 minutes, so we'll get to that. I got a fun story out of California. We'll take a little break out of football and get to that. This is where we like to take our morning stroll in the morning dew around the Pacific Northwest and take a peek and see what is going on with your local teams.
What is happening?
The Oregon State Beavers are off this weekend, probably a nice reprieve for them.
Go Beavers.
And hopefully they can get things right and have an exciting game in Pullman next week. And maybe we'll have Alex Brink on next week.
There you go.
Talk about that maybe. He might be available. Be early in the week since we won't be here on Thursday or Friday. But take a peek around the Pacific Northwest. I'll start with the Huskies up top, okay? They're 7-3. Traveling to a 3-7 UCLA team who somehow is 3-4 in the Big Ten. Got that fired coach boost. I desperately need UW to win this game just so I can hit my over on UW. But boy, them on the road versus them on home is really difficult. Now, the three-headed monster on offense with them in Williams, Coleman, and Boston, like they should have the horses to win this game. But until you show me, like, what was that Michigan game they got boat raced? Where was that? It was at the Big House. Where's the Wisconsin game where a kicker had more passing yards than three other quarterbacks? Where was that? In Madison. Like, they've got a road problem, a really big road problem. Also, I just saw a report on my timeline that the betting favorite for the Florida job is no longer Lane Kiffin, and it's Jed Fish. Does that talk get fired up? Does Jed Fish rather be at UCLA than UW? Does that stuff get fired up?
I mean, he shouldn't.
He shouldn't. That's a disastrous program. And if you can't win at UW, bro, not saying that he can't win, but if you don't think you can win at UW, I have no idea what makes you think you can win at UCLA.
It ain't great, Bob.
Because UW is, while a lesser tiered program in the Big Ten, that team was in a natty 2 years ago. And their coach got the Alabama job. That's a pretty damn good program.
And you lost a fair amount of dudes, and you brought some of your guys with you, and you're good.
Chris Peterson went to a national champ. Like, it's a great program.
You can be there.
You can be there if you want. I'll take the Huskies in this begrudgingly, mostly because I want them to hit the over that I predicted at the beginning of the year, and mostly because, like, you have to beat UCLA. You cannot lose.
What was the
to them.
line?
It is 10.5, according to ESPN Bet, brought to you by DraftKings, brought to you by, I don't know, somebody else.
Is it strange to you that the USC-Oregon line is the same line as the Washington-UCLA line?
USC-Oregon line's jumped up to 10.5? No, coincidental. Because like USC needs a kind of a lot to go their way to win this game, in my opinion. But UCLA could win because UW could just lay an egg. Like, I don't see Oregon going out against USC and just laying an egg, to where I could definitely see the Huskies walk into the Rose Bowl and lay an egg.
What's the biggest egg that Oregon has laid this year? Wisconsin?
Tough to say because of the monsoon.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, just generally speaking. Is that their worst game of the season? Because I think Indiana wasn't them laying an egg. I think it was them just getting smacked.
I think that's them getting beat. Yeah, I guess Wisconsin. It's hard to say because
Again, monsoon. I know.
I just think there's so many factors in that game that.
Because I don't think they laid an egg against Iowa. I think they played a really good game.
I don't think they laid an egg against Penn State either.
No.
I think they played a really good game. Maybe they don't have an egg.
That's kind of my point. Of like, the Wisconsin game was not them like, oh my God. It was just, circumstantial. But that's the closest they've gotten. That was kind of the point I was making with it, is they haven't really laid an egg. So, if you're looking at it in that point of view, I guess that's maybe why.
You take UW to win this game?
Yeah, I'll take them to cover too, because it feels like the bump they got from Foster going out, they've lost some of that.
Plus, I wonder if they blow out UCLA, do they get a little ranky to spice up that rivalry game on Thanksgiving weekend against Oregon?
Yeah, they probably do.
Get a little bump?
They probably do, because Washington would go into that at 8-3 with a chance to be a 9-3 team. You're not making
at home.
You're not making the playoff.
Sailgating.
But you're playing for a pretty solid bowl game.
Go to a Holiday Bowl, something like that.
You're going to like a December 27th, 28th bowl game. You're going to that weekend's bowl game.
You're not going to famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
No.
So Duke's Mayo, though, maybe. We'll stick in the great state of Washington, my great state of Washington that I'm proud to be born and raised in. We'll slide over to my alma mater, and that is the Washington State Cougars, who go on the road to James Madison to attempt to play spoiler in what I believe should be one of the two college football playoff representatives of the group of five, which is funny because the two teams that I like the most currently, Washington State has played or will play in North Texas, who absolutely boat raced Wazoo. And this James Madison squad. The spread on this game is 13.5. And look, if
Does that feel kind?
It feels very kind because
But also the Cougs have been game against the spread.
if I had to bet money on this game, I would take James Madison to cover. I think they're that good. They are pummeling teams. The problem is Wazoo walks into Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is looking ahead to the Georgia game and squeaks by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Wazoo walks into Virginia, and if they don't get that safety, that game goes to overtime, and anything happens because Virginia's trying to look down the line at the ACC. Why the hell are we playing a Pac-2 team in the middle of the season? We're looking ahead. Could this be a similar spot for James Madison in the sense of like, look, guys, I don't care about Wazoo. We need to win our last game, and we're in the playoff. And does that Wazoo sneak attack show up?
So, Cougs this year, 6-4 against the spread. They are 2-1 when
on the road?
No, 2-1 when the spread is 13.5 or more.
And the one
The
loss
spread
is North Texas.
And the spread is
13.5.
Tasty.
And the thing about North Texas, look, quarterback changed. The whole offense changed after that game because there was a very, very glaring big problem. Defense changed as well. But you lose one to Oregon State. I'll take James Madison in this game, but I've already have it prepped to have a battery pack in my pocket with a cord into my hand, into my phone,
So you can
because
watch
I'll be
Cougs?
watching this game.
So about halftime, you can flip back over
You
to
got it.
to the Ducks game.
Well, no, because our game's at 10. So it'll be halftime before the Duck game even starts.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I'll probably flip it. Yeah, I'll probably turn it off.
You can just say you can probably put that away.
I could probably.
I think you'll know one way or the other.
I think we'll know. I think we'll know.
Either
by-
Cougs are in the game,
I
and
think
you're
we'll-
like, hey, or
if Kick's at 10, I think we're gonna know by 11:30 what the situation
Well,
is.
yeah. All right, don't need the battery pack. We're good to go. Or hey, I need to pay attention to this.
And are you taking James Madison?
Yeah, I'll take Jamie on
Yeah,
that.
and the points.
Yeah, I'll take.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you guys to cover.
All right.
You
All
guys,
right.
you guys have been kind of a cover beast.
Go Beavers. And then finally the Oregon USC game. The spread right now is 10.5. Boy, it keeps going up. What did it open at? Did it open at 9.5?
Yeah.
Did it open at 8.5?
9.5 is the ones that I found.
Opened at 9.5. Currently sitting at 10.5. You go first. You've already made your.
I'm
thoughts known.
taking Oregon to pick or to win, but I'm taking USC to cover.
I'm gonna do this. I will take SC to lose and not cover.
Oh, there you go.
I'll take Oregon to win this game, and I'll take the cover. It might be a backdoor. They might win by 10. I know I say this a lot, and this could be, bad takes exposed from me, but give me a good game from Dante Moore.
Every time you call for this, it does not happen.
Every time I do, it doesn't happen.
Please say it louder.
Yeah.
Louder.
I expect a big game from Dante Moore. I really do. I think the run game is going to do what it does. I think Maiyava's going to do what he does, and Makai Lemon's going to do what he does. And this game will fall on the shoulders of Dante Moore. I don't know if he's going to have 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, 1 running and 3 in the air, but I think this game will be decided by Dante Moore. I just feel it. I just feel it in my bones.
Okay.
Now, could it be decided by Dante Moore in the wrong way? Very much potentially. But I'm a glass half full guy when it comes to my guy, Dante Moore.
You
Number 1 overall pick, Dante
You've been
Moore.
Dante Moore for Heisman from the jump.
From the jump.
Well, that's not true. Arch from the jump, and then it was Dante.
And I don't think either of them are going to win the
Nope.
Heisman. But give me a Heisman level performance from Dante Moore.
Okay.
All right, we'll come back. We'll take a pause and some football stuff, and we'll get into Web Gems, everybody favorite. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. This is 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
Ow, son of a...
It's Web Gems,
What'd you do?
the firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
What is happening?
All right, this is everybody's favorite Web Gems. Do it every single day at 11:45. I'll give you a little preview of the big nooner. We'll get to some NFL chatter. QBs and their actual value, because I think we might be misrepresenting something. And I wrote down in my fun, like to make funny topic names. I have the game Baker got his groove back.
There you go.
So we'll get a little NFL plus Blazers in Cup action tonight, and then we'll send you on your way. That's the big nooner. But the Web Gems today is brought to you by way of Carmel, California. They are preparing to implement what could be California's first permanent ban on this sport. It is the fastest rising sport in America. It is the official sport of the state of Washington. They are looking to ban pickleball on public courts within the city limits. Pickleball. Pickleball. The ban stems from years of noise complaints by residents near Forest Hill Park, located in the center of the ultra-wealthy coastal hamlet south of Monterey. Sound noises from pickleball? The olds out there giving you the tennis, Is that our problem? Is it the wiffle ball bouncing on the court?
I have no idea.
What on earth could you be thinking when you think that pickleball is too loud and noisy for you?
It's all very dumb. It's all it comes from a very pretentious town. That's what this is. Like, are we getting the highly competitive, like, drunk 20-year-olds out there in the middle of the night doing this?
No, I feel like
it's usually the olds.
Every pickleball player I know are like my friends' parents.
Yes.
Who are not ultra wealthy, but are like doing well for themselves and retired and living a lush life.
Everybody tries
They're
to
not
get
playing pickleball at 8 o'clock. It's like 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and
go to a job, loser.
Everybody that tries to get me to play, you know what they say? I'm like, I don't want to move side to side, like my hips. And they're like, that's the thing, man. You don't have to move. And I'm like, so why would I want to do this?
Well, what's the number one fear of Patrick Harris right now?
I mean, that's a long list.
The number one fear is tearing an Achilles.
Well, yes.
Because of just the pain threshold. I don't know if I got that.
The recovery for me.
I am terrified to play pickleball because of tearing my Achilles.
It's so rampant. It's all over the place. But it's funny. I know a bunch of the olds that play it that have like hip replacements. Like, no, it's great. I'm just like, I'm good, dog. I don't need to speed mine up. But yeah, this isn't like professional pickleball, and it's not like a loud game.
No, that's why I don't understand.
You know why they're mad?
What?
It's not because of the sound. It's because they're taking up the idea of their tennis court.
Oh, I wonder, and if it's like, oh, but now there's no parking anywhere. Where am I supposed to park, Monty?
Look, that part of California is very much NIMBY, not in my backyard.
I don't know. I would just think of the ultra-wealthy old people, as we've been saying. This would be the game that they would be all about.
Well, you know what it's probably doing? It's bringing in people maybe that don't live in that neighborhood because...
I used to live in Camas. We lived up near the top of the hill in a very nice neighborhood. You turned into the neighborhood, and then it split like a Y, but they were both going down hills, but to dead-end cul-de-sacs, all right? So it was a very quiet neighborhood. Across the street from our house was this park. And then there was, I might have told you this story before, there was a piece of pavement basically next to the park that was about spaciously 2 car lengths wide and 2 car lengths deep. It screamed basketball hoop.
Sure.
Like a half-court basketball hoop right there.
Somebody rolled one out there?
Exactly. No, nobody ever did because it was denied by the city because they were afraid of the wrong crowd coming in to play basketball. Who plays majority of basketball in the United States of America, Danny?
Kids.
Kids of a certain type?
Perhaps.
Couldn't be young black kids, could it be? So heaven forbid. And I wonder if the hoity are worried that the ragtag middle class old people retired?
Yeah.
That are still the whites for you?
Oh, new money? Please.
Oh, nouveau riche, get out of here.
If you've never been to Monterey, that's the Presidio. That's where, Pebble Beach and Spyglass and everything else is at. It is crazy money.
But who wouldn't want like your little outfits? If you don't have to move, then you just
Yeah.
get to look pretty on the court. Take
Which-
a photo
yeah.
shoot, nice sunset.
But again, I also think it's the quote unquote wrong people coming in, and the rich. You know what they love? They love the idea of tennis.
But they don't actually play
They'll
tennis.
play once a month, but like the one time they go out there to go play, what happens? Oh, those damn pickleballers. You know what it kind of sounds like? It's a Caddyshack thing. It's a Caddyshack thing where the rich club elites are mad that the caddies are out there playing on the course.
My roaming street reporters here on the fan text line says that this is the exact same issue in Lake Oswego.
Yeah.
It's like I should have 3, 2, 1 enter the Lake Oswego chat.
Yes. And somebody says the complaints are about pickleball is the noise of the ball hitting the paddle, the constant pops. It's like they aren't out there hitting 100-mile-an-hour serves, guys.
I mean, YouTube's telling me that the paddle hitting the ball can be quite loud.
I mean, come on.
I did play in middle school and I loved it. I love pickleball. I think I even played in high school. I think I played all three levels of primary education.
When I was a kid, we had a sport court in our backyard, and there was a lot of pickleball played. And
I'm from the state of Washington, man. It's the official sport. I played in elementary, middle, and high school.
yeah, but there's definite noise coming from paddle to ball.
I did feel like as a non-athlete, though, that pickleball was the best sport for me.
You-
I always felt like if we got into a pickleball tournament in PE, if I had the right partner, we'd go to the semis. We'd never win it because I'm not an athlete enough, but we'd go far.
You know what else is loud? Life. You know what's going on all day right now, or all over the West Coast? Leaf blowers.
Oh, man, dude, my neighborhood.
It is a constant hum of just
I
everywhere.
hear that every day at my house.
And look, it may
no
not
matter
be
the weather, nothing.
Yeah, it may not be the rich doing it. They may be paying some guy to go do it, but guess what's going on? That. And during the summer, people are out. Kids are playing. It's like, just knock it off.
You know what I didn't have on my bingo card today is that the text line and the YouTube chat are trying to tell me that it is actually loud.
It's not
and
loud.
annoying.
It's not loud.
I didn't have that. That quite surprises me.
It's this whole idea of like people doing things is loud. Stop.
I hate you for having fun.
Yes. It's all very dumb.
Speaking of no fun, let's get into the big nooner. We'll slide over to the NFL. They're the no fun league, right? You think they're going to ban pickleball? I don't think so. Unless you like blow your knee out in the offseason and you're out for the year. That might void your contract. Don't do that. But the big nooner is next. Some NFL to get to. We'll also check in on the Blazers and closing arguments, sending you on your way on a football Friday. Ducks USC this weekend. Big game. Loaded hour. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar, your Ducks game day headquarters in Portland. First on the Fan, the number 7 Oregon Ducks continue their quest for the college football playoff tomorrow afternoon. Hosting number 15 USC, the Ducks are 9.5-point favorites. It's a 12:30 kick on CBS. Live coverage from Autzen Stadium begins at 8 o'clock with Ducks game day. Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman live from Eugene. Stick around through network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz. The Trailblazers start a 3-game road trip with an NBA Cup game tonight at the Warriors. 7 o'clock tip on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday, Shaden Sharp, Robert Williams III, they're all questionable. Jeremy Grant is probable after dealing with an illness. The Blazers are 7.5-point underdogs. Over in the NFL, Lions head coach Dan Campbell says tight end Sam Laporta had back surgery, and his odds of returning this season are, quote, very, very slim. Colts head coach Shane Steichen says quarterback Daniel Jones, despite being limited in practice yesterday due to a calf issue, he was a full participant today, and he'll play Sunday against the Chiefs. Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka says Jackson Dart remains in concussion protocol. He will not play Sunday against the Lions. Jameis Winston gets his second start at quarterback, and Russell Wilson will be the backup. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan.
All right, 2 down, 1 to go here. Final hour, and then we'll send you on your way. Take you all the way to 1 p.m., then we'll turn it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2. Then the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3. Nice little surprise on that show today. I don't know if it's a surprise, but a great interview coming for you on that show. From 2 to 3, and then, baby, you know what it is. It's prime time from 3 to 7. Take you all the way home, finishing up 13 hours of live, continuous, local, regional sports talk radio. Will continue tomorrow on a long day. Joe and Rashad will start you off at 6 in the morning. Then we'll head down to Eugene with Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, Dusty Hara.
I'm sure they'll let me on the show.
On the I bet you they won't let you near that place. I can almost
Just
guarantee.
a security guard with a taser waiting for me.
There's a better chance they ask me about a Wazoo game than they ask you about this. So there'll be that from 8 to 10:30. Then they'll hand it off to Jerry and Jorgie and company to take you up to kick at 12:30. And then the post-game show from Jerry and Jorgie, and then turn it over to us with Jordan Schultz and Joe Fisher in the Duck post-game show right here on the Fan Sports Network.
And if you are one of the few, the proud, the USC faithful here in Portland, they're having a meetup at 10 Barrel down the street tonight at 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I won't be there.
All of the Ryan Abraham and those guys, the Peristyle guys, will all be down there.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. They're up here tonight, and then they're heading down tomorrow for the game.
As somebody who used to work at that location, I don't know if that's going to go well for any Duck fans. There's a lot of Duck fans that go into that place.
Well, we'll see.
I'm sure everybody would be great. But Danny and I will both be at the game this weekend, so if you see us, don't be afraid.
Come say
hi.
up.
Come say what's up.
I'll talk my ass and have my fun, but you guys win, I'll give you guys all the praise.
And I'm completely neutral, so I am there
He's
for
full of
one
crap.
thing and one thing only: drinking. That's all I'm there for, and have a grand old time. And, I feel a lot like this.
I wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles, and we'd all eat it, be happy.
That's how I feel, and I hope
Except
y'all.
beer.
I hope you all have a great time down there. I'm gonna have to remember to eat. That's my biggest thing. I always forget to eat.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Then I just get housed, and it's a problem. But I don't tear hamstrings. I
Wait.
just become really happy.
Also, make sure you don't eat anything too fatty.
No, dude, I think I have breakfast reservation at 7:30 in Eugene. I haven't had bacon in months.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, dude, it's going down.
Why would
Meet
you
me
do
in the
that
mall.
to yourself?
What?
Well, yeah, why would you not have bacon for months?
Well, trying not to be a fatty.
I mean, drink less beer, insert bacon.
If I got to make choices, I think I've made that choice.
Oh, man.
This weekend, though, will be fun.
I was shopping at
That's the wrong
Costco.
one.
Yeah, no, I was shopping at Costco. Look, I love making my own bacon, but the Costco 1 pound of like 90% cooked bacon is so money.
Mm.
You ever grab that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I know what you're
No, I
talking about.
prefer my bacon a very specific way,
Well,
so
no,
I cook it from the beginning.
It's not fully cooked.
I hear ya.
I mean, it is fully cooked, but it's like at the lowest level of fully cooked. It's great because if you just get the pan hot, throw it in, you can crisp it up real quick.
I need the beginning to end grease so I can throw my eggs in there
Oh yeah,
and veggies.
mm-hmm. No, just
That drives my wife nuts. She's like, "Why do you want to do that?" I'm like, "Because it's delicious."
it's the bacon grease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't believe I'm eating less bacon and I'm fatter than I've ever been.
that's the problem. You
Just need to go back.
need more hog.
Need to go back. Coming up this hour, we'll talk a little NFL. We'll get to some Blazers as well, and then send you on your way. But I've been having this theory, Danny, and I'm curious your thoughts on it. We look around the league in the NFL, and the most important position, obviously, really of maybe all sports, of any sport, would be quarterback in football. College, pro, high school, whatever level you want to talk about. And I wonder if we are at a point now where we are potentially setting unrealistic expectations. And I think a lot of that has to do with inflated salaries. When I tell you Trevor Lawrence is a top 10 paid quarterback in the NFL, what does that make you do? Ugh.
Yeah.
Makes you kind of cringe. When you look at Tua Tagovailoa in Miami, you're like, ugh. For example, you look at Davis Mills, as we were talking in the first hour about the Texans and their victory last night against the Bills. Not a world-beaten quarterback, but he won the game exactly how you needed him to. And I think you can make that case for Dante Moore. You can definitely make that case for Julian Sayin right now at Ohio State, somebody who's like not blowing me away with what they're doing, but they are just winning games. And I wonder if it's time to kind of stop and really, truly evaluate how we're looking at quarterbacks in terms of what we ask of them. Because I've heard, we had Casey cover for Russ a couple days, and we talked to him before, and he almost wants Mason Rudolph to start in front of Aaron Rodgers. And I wonder it's because when quarterbacks get to a certain level of efficiency, production, whatever you want to call it, that everybody just kind of becomes even. But we're expecting them all to be Patrick Mahomes because of where he's gone, or Tom's Brady, or Lamar Jackson.
It's kind of what you see with Jalen Hurts. And where I think you've seen this clarification come up in sports the most is in the NBA, the new CBA. Where if you have a guy on your roster who's overpaid, take the Sacramento Kings. Zach LaVine is a good player. DeMar DeRozan is a good player. Domantas Sabonis is a good player. None of them are worth what their salaries are under the current CBA, and it becomes this massive, massive, massive inhibitant to roster building, construction, and things you can do.
I'll never forget the time that I heard Mike Dunleavy Jr. got a contract that paid him $16 million a year, $14 million a year, something like
and
that.
You're just like,
and
what?
Everybody lost their GD minds.
Because it was a percentage of cap and scaling and all those kind of things. But in the NFL, the salary cap's more maneuverable because there's not an apron kind of situation. You can move money around and guarantees and non-guarantees and all those kind of things. But if you look at basically every title-winning team, there's some sort of cap manipulation where they're getting guys. And that's why the in vogue thing for the last 8 to 10 years. It's nothing new, but like the how you go about it in the ring chasing world of the NFL, you get these guys, these NFL vets that are on 1-year deals.
Right.
Look
what the Rams did, what the Bucks did.
Yes.
Those were hired assassins.
And you see a lot of these teams that do that now. And that's how they go about filling out their roster with getting higher leverage guys.
Kind of Philly right now.
I was just saying, Philly, and when you win a title, you have to do that because guys will go and get paid somewhere else. So you have to go find some mercenaries. But you have to have some wiggle room, or your quarterback. The Rodgers-Rudolph one, I think, is an interesting discussion because the ceiling for Aaron, even at his age, is so far above and beyond what Mason Rudolph is ever capable of.
I saw Mason Rudolph's ceiling 4 years ago.
But if Aaron has a bad game, that's why the backup quarterback's always, everybody's favorite player. Like, well, this guy can do this. Like, well, for one game, they might be able to do this, that, or the other. But the reality is you're more likely to get Shedeur Sanders.
True. But what I will also say to maybe counter, maybe not, maybe it agrees, you tell me. Take San Francisco against Arizona this last weekend. When I turned on that game, I forgot Brock Purdy was playing because I just assumed it was Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Because it looked the same. Now, they don't get paid the same. They don't have a contract the same. Nobody views them the same. But are they the same? Maybe. in that situation.
I've never been
in
a
that-
Brock Purdy guy.
In that Shanahan system, I don't necessarily mean to be a Brock Purdy guy or not, but that offense, due to coaching and schematics, you know me, I'm very high on Kyle Shanahan as a coach. Those schemes and the personnel around them create kind of the same answer. So I'm curious if we can get to a point where instead of giving all the blame or all the credit to the quarterback, realizing what quarterbacks actually are. And that is whether it's Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. Look, they're both not NFL quarterbacks, and the result is the same. So why are we picking hairs between who is better? If you're take
It's more fun to be tribal. That's why.
take Jameis Winston and Russ Wilson, okay? Both of them are way beyond where they've been. You'd rather have Jameis because he makes you feel better. But the outcomes are kind of the same. They still throw bad picks. They still get sacked when they shouldn't. And if the pay scale isn't what it is, I think we look at quarterbacks very different. And
With that money comes expectation.
And to the point, that Zach here on the YouTube chat saying there needs to be a salary exempt position, I think it's actually the problem. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's the problem that some of these guys, like my examples were Tua and Trevor Lawrence, who make more money than they're worth. But because the scale goes up that way, now we're expecting them to play in the same realm as they do as the other quarterbacks in their tier, like a Joe Burrow, like a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes, and they're just not as good as that.
It's front offices that are paralyzed by fear. Because as much as Lawrence has struggled, what's the likelihood of hitting on a quarterback?
Very low.
Look,
I mean, who are real quarterbacks in this league? 5 or 6?
Yeah, and beyond that,
and some of them are 40, and some of them had 3 stops before they got to where they went.
Look at where the Jags are right now. Trevor Lawrence is a number 1 overall pick. Travon Walker is a number 1 overall pick. Travis Hunter is a number 1 overall pick. Where are they at?
Middling. I mean, their record says better than what they are, but they're a middling team, especially at the quarterback position. They have an average quarterback.
Is Josh Allen a number 1 overall pick?
First round, yeah.
But no, is he a number 1 overall pick?
No.
Okay, is Patrick Mahomes a number 1 overall pick?
No.
Lamar Jackson?
No, but they're all first rounders.
But again, this whole idea of you have to have a
it
top,
has to be Cam Ward or
Caleb Williams,
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The vast majority, Aaron Rodgers, first overall pick. No, he fell down the board.
It was Alex Smith, and who was the better quarterback? Not even close.
Don't get me wrong. You will get number 1 overall pick quarterbacks that are very good. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not saying you need to. You don't need to draft Tom Brady in the 5th round,
6th round.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have
Matt Stafford, number 1 overall, great Hall of Famer.
Yes, very good. Baker Mayfield, there are good quarterbacks.
Jared Goff.
There are good quarterbacks and great quarterbacks to be found there. But this whole idea of if you just suck and you just draft a quarterback, it's no, man.
Yeah, I wonder if we ever get into the world, and I know we're way against it, but I wonder if we ever, and maybe we can spin this over to Baker here next. I wonder if we ever get into a world where a team just decides we're going to take a shot on a quarterback and maybe not necessarily number 1 overall. And when it's time to pay him what Trevor Lawrence is making, they say no and let him walk.
That's where I was ultimately getting to. Is
let him walk. And then
you have paralyzed front offices that
maybe you're bad for a year, but then go grab your another young quarterback. Because what's the thing we always say? Once you pay a quarterback, you can't win.
And if you do, it's because you.
And that's Zach's point about the salary exempt. Is just get that out so it doesn't affect the rest of your roster.
We've talked about this in the NBA, and again, I know we're up against it, but the idea of the max salary is the max salary. Let's just use $50 million as a round number. Let's say Nikola Jokic makes $50 million on the books, but you actually pay him 80. You can go over that, whatever percent, only if you're the team that drafted him, kind of a deal. Those kind of stipulations and situations. But yeah, it's a very weird spot to be with that, because once you pay the quarterback and he's not Himothy, you're cooked.
Yeah, you're in big trouble.
See Dolphins, Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, and if Jacksonville doesn't have kind of the year they're having, or catch teams that they shouldn't have caught the way they did, they're probably sitting in the same boat, dude, paging the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
I know he's hurt, but wow, woof.
But that's also something he's dealt with because he's tiny.
Wow, woof. All right, let's stick in the NFL. The game that Baker got his groove back, can this happen against a big test on Sunday night, but something that could be very, very important for them? So we'll stick in the NFL and slide to Sunday Night Football next. Oh, no. I was about to throw it to you, Rusty. That's not me. We'll do that next. 105.1 Portland Sports Leader.
Need more.
Blazers and Cup action tonight. We'll get to that in about 10 minutes. I love this song. Such a good tune. But we're hanging out in the NFL, talking a little quarterback action, and there's a big game this weekend for one quarterback in particular, and it's so tough that we have to live in this world with him because we are big fans of him on this show, and we have been rooting for him diligently throughout the year, but things have just been in such a tough spot for them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we feel like they're one of the top teams in the NFC, don't we?
When they're healthy, absolutely.
They're 6-4. There is a world where they could lose to the Rams this weekend and the Carolina Panthers beat the Niners on Monday Night Football and go into first place. That is a world, a very real world we live in right now.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I'm excited about the Monday night game. Maybe we'll talk about it on Monday as maybe the first chance to. Maybe I'll spend the weekend and really dive in and become a Carolina Panther fan. And
that's a lot of hurt.
Figure out why they are who they are right now. But this is a big game for Baker. I mean, he's making the rounds. They're asking about his time in L.A. and what Sean McVay did. And let's be real here. Baker
McVay helped him out a ton.
Baker was at the bottom. Baker was at the very, very bottom when he was on the Rams.
Remember, he signed and played the next day.
Mm-hmm. Out of necessity. Because everybody was dead.
Yes.
Was Jimmy G was dead and Stafford was dead?
Yeah, I think that's what it was, yeah.
And so he comes in. But the Bucs are in a scary place, man. It's not fair to them, but Baker has to go out there and kind of ball out.
We talk about Josh Allen being the superhero, Lamar Jackson being the superhero. What Baker has had to do this year with a shell of an offensive line, his offensive weapons just hammered, his defense beat up. He's done it damn near every game. I think he's had 2 games where you're like, oof, that's a little rough, but it's like the ask of him is probably greater than any quarterback in the NFL right now. Even more than Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know.
Because Josh Allen has not had to, like, his weapons aren't as good as Baker's, that's for sure, but Baker hasn't had them.
I want to say Josh Allen's so bad, but I just can't. And you can look around and make the argument that the Ravens are bad because Lamar hasn't played, and the Bengals are bad because Joe hasn't played. Well, the Bengals are bad because the Bengals are bad.
Yes.
But you're right. I don't think anybody has asked more to do with his team than him. Let's take Matt Stafford right now, who I believe, all things considered, is
the front runner for MVP.
Front runner for the MVP. That team's very good across the board, and they don't rely on Matt Stafford. We had this conversation about their Seahawk game. Everybody wanted to kill Sam Darnold, and rightfully so. You can't turn the ball over 4 times. But Matt Stafford was not, Jesus out there in that game. And so sometimes that can get you by. But Baker has got to be everything. I mean, he's completing 63.5%, which is good. He's got 17 touchdowns and only 3 picks. He's been sacked 20 times. So that's not great. But he can run the ball and extend the play. And I wouldn't be shocked. I'd have to look at the tapes, but I wouldn't be shocked if that's a part of what makes that number as high as it actually is. But Baker, you're right. He's got to be the guy. And I wonder if a giant game like this on the road against a team, a lot of chip on his shoulder.
They win this game, you're looking at Baker going, okay, dude.
Can he pop up? Yeah. I don't know how to expect him to play. Do we have any idea what the injury report looks like for Tampa right now?
Let me pull it up. Injuries as of Friday right now. Bucky is out. Tristan Wirfs questionable. Hassan Reddick questionable. Igbuka questionable. And obviously McMillan is out. Mike Evans is out. I think they're missing 3 offensive linemen that are on IR. Again, and Wirfs, who's all world, is banged up. So, yeah, Bucky's out again.
They're in trouble, and I hate.
And
this.
Godwin's still, a guy who's coming off of a knee and then it was dinged up coming back, and so.
And I hate this for Baker because there's no guarantee that he's this again next year. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. He's been really good the last 3 years.
I know, but with how volatile the NFL can be,
right.
And good teams go up and bad teams go up and good teams go down, etc. I just hope we're not.
Does Morris get fired because of all the injuries? You know what I mean?
I just hope. You mean Todd Bowles?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. Raheem Morris is getting fired.
Yes,
that guy's getting fired. But
it's the other team in the South that's red.
Like, this asked on the YouTube chat, which team has the most upside with talent but have been decimated by injuries? It's the Bucks by far. But that doesn't mean that an offseason gets you healthy and they continue to roll and do what they were doing this year before everybody died.
The question I'm starting to have in my head is, are they more like the 49ers where their risk tolerance for injury is just higher, or are they just unlucky?
I would probably lean just unlucky right now, simply because
the 49ers roster is
the Niners have been showing me that for
5 years
since Shanahan and Lynch came in. So that feels more organizational, more structured.
But this is 2 years in a row for the Bucks where it's just like, come on,
especially
man.
wide receiver land. Like, I can't get a guy to throw to.
Mm-hmm. And look, if they're healthy, if that unit is healthy, it's one of the best in the league. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Egbuka. Who's got a better triumvirate than that if they're all healthy?
A fair thought to throw out is Justin Herbert. They're banged up right now, but
for sure.
He's still got weapons to throw to, though.
McConkey's out there.
Yeah. Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
For the most, they might miss time here and there, but for the most part, that O-line, though, is by Ridge.
Shocking to hear Justin Herbert's name thrown in there. Shocking.
You better win this weekend.
Oh, I'm not the one who's a 10-point favorite.
I know.
Duck fan, you better not lose.
When we come back, Blazers and Cup action tonight, and I'll ask a question that kind of stems off what we did yesterday in a conversation about management load and the future of this situation. But first, that's the Big Kahuna. He's got sports.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys into whom you can place your trust. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the Fan, the number 7 Oregon Ducks continue their quest for the college football playoff tomorrow afternoon, hosting number 15 USC. The Ducks, 10-point favorites in the 12:30 kick on CBS. Live coverage starts at 8 a.m. with Ducks Game Day. Dirt, Dusty, Anthony Newman, all live from Autzen Stadium. Stick around through network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show with Joe Fisher and Schultze. The Trailblazers start a 3-game road trip with an NBA Cup game tonight at the Warriors. 7 o'clock tip on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday, Shaden Sharp, Robert Williams III, they are all questionable. Jeremy Grant is probable after dealing with an illness. The Blazers are 7.5-point dogs. Over in the NFL, Colts head coach Shane Steichen says Daniel Jones, despite being limited in practice yesterday due to a calf issue, was a full participant today, and he'll play Sunday against the Chiefs. Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka says Jackson Dart remains in concussion protocol and will not play Sunday against the Lions. Jameis Winston will get his second straight start at quarterback. Russell Wilson remains the backup, and Lions head coach Dan Campbell says tight end Sam Laporta had back surgery, and his odds of returning this season are, quote, very, very slim. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Cup action tonight for the Portland Trail Blazers. They'll take on the Golden State Warriors at 7 o'clock. Watch that however you figured out how to watch Blazer games.
Indeed.
You know, now that I got ESPN back, I'm very, very frustrated that I bought that antenna.
Why?
Because I have Blazer Vision.
I know, but if you want to, you can throw it on a TV.
But I can do that with my laptop.
Sure, okay.
I'm just very mad about this. It's not a Blazer thing.
Next time, I'm gonna make sure you don't have Blazer Vision.
I'm just mad about it. I'm just angry man at the clouds. Blazers take on Golden State Warriors tonight at 7 o'clock in Cup action. Let's see. Shaden, Drew, Rob Will, all questionable off my brain. Is that correct?
Yes. So Rob was there for injury management because he didn't play. They're not playing in back-to-backs, and they're playing 3 and 4 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Drew and Shaden obviously both dealing with calves. Drew was getting it worked on the last home game when he came in the locker room. Talked to him for a split second. He definitely had just gotten the massage and was not looking thrilled about it. As someone who's had their calf scraped out a few dozen times, it's a miserable experience. So, but with him and Shea with the calf injuries, if there's even a twinge, nope,
don't go. Don't go. It's not worth it, especially in the Cup, dude. Like, group of death in the Cup action anyway. Who cares?
Well, every team's 1-1 right now.
But the Golden State Warriors, they sat a bunch of dudes the other night.
They said their whole starting lineup.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be ready to go tonight, though.
So as of yesterday,
Friday night in San Francisco, you better play everybody.
As of yesterday, Buddy Hield was day-to-day. Kuminga has been ruled out. Draymond is day-to-day, but is probable. Jimmy Butler was out, but he is now back to probable. So... And Horford was like Robert Williams.
He doesn't play
back-to-backs. So
it's such an interesting fad now too for the old geezers.
I mean, Horford's 38?
Yeah, dude, he won a national championship 15 years ago.
Yeah. Good player, man.
Great player. Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, here's the thing. People need to remember this random tangent. The Basketball Hall of Fame is not the NBA Hall of Fame.
Correct. It's
he
basketball.
won two national titles in college and titles in the NBA.
Yeah. I love Al Horford. I love those Florida teams.
He's one of the greatest basketball players of a generation.
You know, we were talking yesterday about like the season being quote unquote too long or too hard on the bodies and stuff. And I know that these games count towards your overall standings, so it's not really like fair to say it, but it kind of just had me thinking like the Cup, I feel, adds more pressure incentive, or maybe it doesn't. You tell me if I'm wrong, Danny. That could be leading to it, that I wonder if someday they get to the point and just rip this up and say, we tried it, we don't like it. And then it just becomes an average Friday night game against the Warriors.
No, it'll go the other way. They want the Cup. They
would double down on it?
Yes.
And they would tell you if you're going to sit a guy in your regular season game and not in the
100%.
Cup game?
They are prioritizing it 100%.
So then your Cup ticket sales would go up. You would, in theory, want those to be your sellow games.
They want
like
them to be
Friday,
it's a Friday
night in San Francisco.
There's a reason why they play them on Friday nights, is because they want the marquee of it. They for the NBA failing, and this is why I beat the NBA over the head when they do the stupid things. But the reason I was pro Cup is very simple. It makes the game matter, even if it's 1% more. What has the NBA failed to do under Adam Silver's watch?
Make a lot of games matter.
And so you're adding a little bit more juice. You're adding, the top tier coverage around the country. You're adding the courts. You're adding just a little bit more. Like when you walk into the arena, if you're a fan for a Cup game, it feels a little different.
I wonder if it could ever get to a point where, like, for example, the Friday night games, whether it's Cup or not, are prime games, correct? Sure. NBC now is Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, I think.
And ESPN is Wednesdays and I think just Wednesdays.
Who's carrying this tonight? Don't ever ask me who's carrying games because I can never remember. God, go back. No, NBC. Oh, the
Prime has Pacers Cavs at 4.
And they have Denver at Houston at 6.
Yeah, and this game is all local coverage and then League Pass.
Do you think if they really are trying to invest into the NBA Cup being something, that they would have multiple broadcast partners on a night? Because that's how you do it. Because right now, if you want me to care about the Cup, I'm only watching an Indiana Pacers team who is really bad. And
Pacers, Cavs, and then
I mean Denver
Nuggets, Rockets.
Nuggets, Rockets.
That's a banger.
It's great, but what if I could throw in there at the same time?
There's nothing else there.
Miami, Chicago. Can I introduce you in that?
Yeah, I mean-
or just highlighting OKC, or highlighting Ant Edwards, or highlighting Cooper
No,
Flag.
you highlight the smaller market.
You couldn't cross brand with multiple networks doing cup games. Not every Friday. That's prime. But if Fridays are going to be cup games,
It's Fridays and Mondays.
When
I
it
think
is
what
a cup game, bring in another broadcast partner, stagger the games a little more, and do that.
But the broadcast partners won't want that because they want the exclusivity of it.
But if the NBA wants more eyeballs, then maybe there's somewhere meets in the middle.
Well, then they're paying less for it.
Is there an NBA TV game on tonight?
It's-
No, there's not.
no.
See, that could be an easy
that-
middle ground. That would be your easy middle ground.
But you're also, if you're taking that
Push
game,
Portland Golden State to 8:00 and put that on NBA TV.
I'm gonna just slam your face off the table.
Oklahoma City, Utah. How about that?
There we go. Or Mavs Pels, like fine,
Just something.
fine.
But get another game on, push it to a later
Like
time.
we do at the playoffs when the Orlando Magic are playing.
Boom.
You're tipping off at 2:30 Western on NBA TV. Sorry.
Or the Cleveland Guardians, 10 a.m. on
Yep.
Fox every time.
Enjoy.
If you're lucky, it's not FS2,
Yeah.
which isn't even a real station. It's just like
It doesn't it only exist in like certain windows?
it
that just
only
pop
exists when they put programming on
Yeah.
it. There's no like just filler programming
Yeah.
or anything.
It's like, wait, where did this channel come from? It's like, what? Oh, and it's gone.
Just trying to think of ways to alleviate the load management as we talked about yesterday, and just trying to find options to not have these guys become quote unquote injury prone.
Start
now.
the season 2 weeks earlier. Ended a week later. Give yourself 3 weeks of leverage to play with, and shut up about the NFL.
Golden State tonight, and let's see, Sunday is at Oklahoma City. So you start road trips. You're on a back-to-back after OKC. You head up north to Milwaukee. Until this team gets healthier, my friends, I don't know how much stock there is to put into this team night by night. In the sense of like trying to figure out where they are, what Tiago is as a coach, what Shaden is as a player, etc. Like until this team can get some resemblance of health, I think it's just still going to be a struggle watching, you know.
Well, yeah, again, I've talked about this so much. Their first 20 games, I mean, they have at Golden State, at OKC, at Milwaukee, then come home against San Antonio and OKC again, and then they go out on a 4-game trip where you've got Toronto, Cleveland, Detroit, Memphis.
That's tough.
Toronto's second in the East right now, weirdly enough. Cleveland, one of the best teams in the East. Detroit, probably the best team in the East, and then Memphis, tire fire.
Absolute tire
But
fire.
after this is where you can you're feeling pretty good. You have Memphis, Sacramento.
Whoa.
Yeah, you have a home and home with Sacramento, so you get nice little reprieve there. But then you go Detroit, Orlando, Clippers, Boston, Dallas. That and then you end the calendar year at Oklahoma City again. I think they are done with Oklahoma City after
I was just
that.
about to say, can we be done with this team?
Yes, they are.
Like-
So they are done with Oklahoma City.
Can Oklahoma City win 74 games this year? Yeah, if they keep playing the hurt Trailblazers.
Yeah, so
they can definitely do
They
it.
will play Oklahoma City all 4 times before the end of the calendar year.
All right, enjoy your Blazers tonight as they take on the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. 7 o'clock tip tonight. Tickets as low as $130 to get in the building if you're streaming from down south.
Yeah, I mean, that building, man. It's so soulless now.
I can't wait to see that place and what it looks like when Steph's gone.
Ghost town.
Ghost town. Unless they hit. Unless they find somebody in a draft to be, another top 10 player
But
of all
I
time.
tell you right now, for the first 5 years, those VC bros aren't paying, $100,000 a year for a box.
They sure aren't.
Oh, not even $100,000, $1 million a year for a box.
All right, we come back. We'll call it a day. Closing arguments is next. Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan.
firm of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
Which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll send you on your merry way on this Football Friday. You'll definitely want to tune in to the Happy Hour with Luke, Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. Have you guys been teasing who's coming on, or is it a surprise?
I don't know that we have yet.
Okay, well, I didn't want to ruin it in case. But if you're a fan of the Happy Hour, which I listen to damn near almost every single day, you'll want to check this out. Luke has got himself a great guest lined up for you today, and I'm going to be a little starstruck if I catch him walking through the halls on my way out of here. That's all I'll tell you.
Yes.
That's all. My question I asked Luke this morning was, is there a chance he's bigger than he actually looks? Because he's a big, to tease a little, he's a big guy.
He's
big
a big
shoulders.
Dude. I've taken a picture with him.
You have?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
I wonder if he'll be bigger than I anticipate. But you know me.
Everybody's
Everybody's
bigger
bigger
than you,
than me.
It's tough out here.
So you'll definitely want to tune in that. That'll be a fun little Friday show. As Danny and I have been teasing all day, we will be down for the USC-Oregon game. I just got a situation that I can't say no to.
Yeah.
That's my world right now.
You're a passenger princess.
I am just a passenger princess on this ride with a great friend of mine.
To be clear, that's how I've gone down to Autzen every single time, and it's dope.
That's me too. The only time I've been down to Autzen on my own, I went to a Wazoo game and we lost. So
it's not a fun drive back.
If you're an Oregon fan, I'm your good luck charm.
Yeah, there you go.
I've seen Oregon at Wazoo a handful of times. The last time I went, Wazoo won. That was game day. Gardner Minshew. The time before that, I watched Marcus Mariota win a Heisman against my team. So that there wasn't that. And the other one I remember really is the day Kenyon Barner died at Washington State University. He just got blown up on a kick return in one of those ooh.
Yeah, he had 300 yards against USC in 2012. He did not die there.
I think we beat Oregon that year. Jonathan Stewart came to town and fumbled the ball a bunch.
Ooh.
If my memory serves me correct, I could be bad on that. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That is a long time ago for
I'm
me.
thinking of sanction era USC, and I try to keep that out of my brain as much as possible.
Yeah. A text I wanted to read, is Danny really going with a little engine that could with the mighty USC and all of their history and saying we have nothing to lose, not supposed to win? Is that really how you consider yourself now, Danny?
They were projected to win 8 games. They've won 8 games. I had Duck fan telling me they were going to go undefeated and win a natty this year.
What does Cartman say? I was told there'd be...
I was led to believe there'd be pie and punch.
Yeah. It's pretty good. No, I expect this team to win 8 games. It is house money this year. Next year, when they get their recruiting class in and things are rolling forward, there's going to be higher expectations.
Yeah, there will be.
They're a 10.5-point dog.
I'm curious. I am curious what the narrative will be on Lincoln Riley if the Ducks cover this score. And let's just say the Ducks look really good in this.
Sure.
Not that USC necessarily looks bad,
Just
but
Oregon looks better.
The Ducks look really good. I'll be curious what, and Josh Pate's not a great example because he has always been, he's pretty honest and fair.
Loves Dan.
But I'd be curious what some of the chuckleheads on ESPN and stuff would say about Lincoln Riley losing this game.
Oh, it'll be Lincoln can't win on the, I can already tell you, Lincoln can't win on the road. He's not on par. What I'm more interested in hearing them say, or what they say, is if USC wins. Oh, Paul. What are you going to say, Paul?
I think it'll be a huge bailout for the Ducks, honestly. I think they'll start giving flowers to Lincoln Riley and Maava
and it'll be the
Mackay.
narrative that we were on with Oregon to start the year. They're good. We just don't know how good.
And I think that's how it'd be. I think Oregon would get glanced over.
And that's why I think Oregon still makes the playoff with 2 losses.
I was about to say that's why I think they don't make the playoff.
I'm on the other side.
Because the media will be like, yeah, this Oregon team, we didn't think they were going to make it anyway. So they don't need to be in the playoff.
I don't know, man. There's just something about it. It's just, I don't know. Everyone's like, well, their 2 losses would be at home. I'm like, yeah, two top 15 teams.
I do also want to get to this as we talk to Little Blazers as well. Here's a final thought. Next year, a healthy Dame at 80% of his former self. Everybody relatively healthy all season. Swap 2 players to add to the roster. Is Portland a Western Conference final contender? I think some of that actually hinges on if they have a lottery pick.
Yeah, I mean, if they get a
If
lottery
they
pick
say
in this
they miss
draft,
out and they get a lottery pick and maybe the gods smile and it's not
they pop up in the
11,
top 4.
12, 13, but it's, hell, dude, top 7, top 6.
Well, you can only get in the top 4.
Oh,
in the
that's
lottery,
right.
yeah.
That's right. But if the balls bounce your way and you get into 4,
A lot of dudes in this draft. But also,
I don't see that outside of the realm of possibility. I mean, a contender, yes, the top of the West is tough.
it's tough.
The top, you need Minnesota to take a step back. You need Denver to take a step back drastically.
Just KD go, you know what? I'm old. I retire.
You need to pray that San Antonio doesn't somehow get another dude.
Mhm.
And you need
They
to
trade De'Aaron Fox because they have Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle, and
Mm-hmm.
they get another wing, and all of a sudden you're like, damn, this team's loaded.
And although we don't wish for it, you pray for an injury to Oklahoma City somewhere.
Somewhere along the lines. Speaking of injuries, Shaden Sharp, Drew Holiday both just ruled out in the last commercial break for tonight's game. Not surprising.
Yeah, maintain your expectations tonight in the game. It's just the reality of the situation. It's kind of where we are. It's early basketball. It's early basketball.
And they're beat up. They are beat up.
I heard you got a really sweet parking pass for the football game.
I
this week.
did. I don't have to scavenge.
I did not get one.
You're being driven down there.
I know.
What are you worried about? You're
I was,
tailgating.
I was told there'd be a cooler too.
See, like, what are you talking about?
Look, dude, I'm coming up Millhouse on this thing.
And you're still finding a way to
like
complain.
Nobody's business. No, I'm just trying to, protect myself and project myself correctly.
And look, I'm not
trying to be
There you go.
perfectly prepared.
I'm not on the field, so I'm not being shunned and told that I can't wear USC gear. So I will be wearing my USC gear down there.
I wonder what it's like to watch a game on the field. I've never done it before.
It's fun.
It feels like short man over here would not do well.
I mean,
If I was tall like our surprise guest on the Fan Happy Hour, that would be something.
there's angles,
There's angles,
but
yeah. I mean, Dusty's not super tall, but he probably gets a little more
but he's
action.
also front row.
Yeah, he gets front row.
Yeah.
That's son
He's,
of a
he's
bitch.
right there.
That lucky SOB.
He's got some good access. But I do the idea of like when you're watching football, it is better to be a little further away so you can actually see things that are going on.
I know I have no idea where my seats are, and hopefully I had this great conversation with Boss Man Cooley about like, I'm excited to be at the game and check it out, but actually my couch would be a better place to watch this game and break it down for you on Monday.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold.
It's not going to be wet, thank God. It's going to be cold, though.
I think I figured out what I'm wearing. There might be an Olaf appearance
Oh, there you go.
with this big jacket behind me
Yeah,
and a Tacoma Rainiers hat on.
there you go.
I think the problem is that's a little red, and I don't want to lean colors in any
Well, I mean,
direction.
Crimson Cardinal, pretty close colors.
Don't you ever say that to me again, mister. All right, that's going to do it for us. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a safe weekend out there. If you're down at Autzen, come say hi. Going to be a lot of fan personalities down there and a lot of just people from this building in general. I hope you all have a great weekend. For Danny Meringue, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something. How would you?
Bye.